Hey kids, you're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast. Prepare for the SML Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I'm your host, Joe. Pernell and Aki are here. How are you two doing?
Pretty good, and you?
Doing all right.
It went all right.
What?
I don't know why I'm caught up.
Pernell's like barely coming through.
That's because he's singing in the background.
That's what I was doing. I should be coming through fine now.
Now you are, yeah.
Yeah, I was singing in the background. I was, not smoking in the boys' room.
Better than singing in the rain, right?
Sometimes, singing in the rain can feel pretty damn good. But to keep things on the track of things,
That song.
Doing all right. Can't complain. Tired, but good. Get my game on.
A lot of games to get on with, and one of the new games that we can talk about, we have a guest joining us this week. Christopher Riggs, Riggy2K3, is joining to chat about the game Deluge. Chris, Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me and doing this. Super fun.
Absolutely. I am absolutely bummed that I didn't get to see you at too many games. I was there and my stay got cut short. I didn't even get to see Pernell there. And we do this show together.
Yeah, I got to meet Pernell. That was cool. I think through Frank, maybe?
It was.
Yeah.
Well, not actually, I take that back. No, it wasn't necessarily because he's like, yo, you got to check out this game. I was like, I'm looking at it right now. This guy's a cool chat. He's like, oh, well, you already beat me there. But it was like a weird time where I was doing a bit of the circle around. I was like, oh, what's this game? And you start telling me about the soundtrack and stuff.
Yeah. It's cool. It was a choice meeting. Cool encounter.
Here to that. So, and then it was kind of cool. And then from Joe was like, "Oh yeah, that guy, he's coming on the show." I was like, "Well, that's convenient because I've already met him, so I'm already halfway there."
Exactly.
I want to listen to that song too.
Yeah, well, for the people who don't know what Deluge is, give us the sales pitch. What is this game? Give us the rundown.
Sure. Yeah, Deluge is a old school style JRPG horror game inspired by like old classic Super Nintendo RPGs, but also I grew up playing RPG Maker games like from old to new, and so like it kind of blends those into like a what I consider a unique horror experience, but also like a short RPG. The game deals with a lot of like memory and morality and that sort of stuff in the story, but like it's also like traditional like turn-based combat and like puzzle solving and that sort of a thing too. But that's pretty much it, I guess.
I want to say first off, you're mean because I was given explicit instructions in the game to murder everyone. And then after like 2 of them, I realized, oh shit, I shouldn't be.
But you could. You can.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how you did not immediately go, I'm not murdering these people. Like,
because I was instructed to. I was instructed to. I was commanded to. I was told what to do in a game, and I followed the instructions, Pernell.
Yeah.
That is called going along with the plot devices and the story.
Well, don't get me wrong. I got my own issue to bring up in regards to that, but that part ain't it. I immediately was like, I'm not killing these people. What is up with this? This dude just shows up, starts resurrecting people. I didn't ask to come out of my grave. I like being dead.
I mean, to be fair, you are a minion to a bad guy, so you should be killing everyone.
I didn't ask
as is expected of you. Right? Doesn't change the fact that you are.
Imagine living your life. Keep in mind, at this point, you don't know the full stint of the game. You just know that you're resurrected. Imagine living a full
you're a warrior,
life.
so you're supposed to kill.
I died a healthy warrior. I kicked ass, lived my life, and this ass bag shows up, brings me back to work, and says, "Start killing people." Like, screw you! I'm not working for you, man. I'm gonna do what I want.
See, and I like this because everybody's right, because that's the whole thing. You could you could do what you're told, or you could not.
That's right. Did what I'm told, and now I feel like I'm locked into a bad ending. Yeah, I'm like, do I start over? Do I not start over?
No, you're locked into one of three
murdering
endings.
Absolutely everything, good, bad, in between. I've just been kill everything.
Well, you're locked into
you
one
just
of
want to be the sole
endings.
survivor. That's fair. You know,
do not start over. I'm gonna tell you right now because of my gripe. Do not start over. So this is a proper time to say it, and I think I might be one of the only people this has happened to, but it's still my gripe. So I leave the first house after I get my keys. I'm able to do more stuff. I get a message. You hear a scream coming southwest of you, of where you're at, like southwest of town. So I go down. I see a house with the lights on. I think the scream's coming from the house. Yeah. So I go in the house. I see a proper scene to give me the impression I heard a scream coming from there. So I progress as if nothing happened. Not to spoil anything of the what, why, or whatever, but a certain point occurs where someone tells me, "You let Elizabeth die." And I go, "Who the fuck is Elizabeth? I met this woman in my life, and I let her die."
Yeah, well, listen. I guess I don't know how much can I guess I can't say too much about
say
that.
Whatever you want. Isn't this game originally from 2003?
No, it's purely spoilers. It's like the whole concept of building a game that is supposed to be kind of open-ended in that regard, gives everybody kind of a unique experience the first time they play, because like you're supposed to kind of interpret things as you would interpret them. And so in having people play the game, like in the original version of the game, you were kind of pushed into one ending, and in this version it kind of accounts for anything. So like when it comes to making decisions and stuff, you're going to miss out on things, and so hopefully for me as the dev, I hope that you play it over and over again and you kind of see what you missed and learn those kinds of things as you play through it. So in regards to you being a killer or Pernell letting somebody die, it's
I didn't mean to.
Different things will happen. So,
speaking of dying, it is very easy to die in this game. I found I routinely had to do a battle, then run back to the fountain in town, then do a battle, then run back to the fountain in town. Is there something I'm missing? Should I be doing some kind of different tactics here?
Yes. I've noticed your interview. I'm like, I played so much of it that I can answer the question now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
Actually, I do want to hear your answer first, but then I will see if it matches up to what I was thinking.
I mean, I would hope that I give you enough stuff to use in combat, but the fountain is to make sure that you definitely can recover some of that a little bit easier than other things, I guess.
I've used the items in battle. It's just in my brain, I'm like, why use an item after battle when I could just walk to the fountain?
You just answered your own question. That's why you're dying or not dying. You're hoarding, which is fine.
I am hoarding,
but
Pernell, you can, of all people, you can't give me shit about hoarding in a game.
This is true, and yet somehow I was all
people.
This is the time to use a. I was able to still somehow state, despite my tendencies, this looks like a perfectly good time to use a healing herb, of which I had 3, so I can use one. So. In that regard, this is one where I can talk. But my take is basically, sometimes you do want to go to the fountain to get the heal because it doesn't hurt to, but given some mechanics that exist in the game, which I will not spoil for people who can find them on their own, including yourself when you get there, the game makes it so that you get enough versatility to not care. Now, with that said, if you just sleep on a bunch of turns and let yourself get massacred, that's a you problem. But optimal play, just playing, rationally, give you enough tools to make it through. And when I discovered that, I was actually surprised, like, oh, wow, okay, I can actually kind of go a little loosey-goosey here. And in the end, I had more than enough stuff to get by. But with that said, I do have a question in regards to this, because it might actually help other players, too, that are playing, including Joe, who's still in the midst of it. So every once in a while, we engage a home or engage in an event, and afterwards, it would say, the night continues to pass. Is there some sort of like background ticker that is moving certain events along if you don't engage with them at the right time?
Yes, there are some things that are, I would say like kind of held back from happening at certain times, and that's mostly like a balancing thing for me, like making sure that certain combat encounters feel appropriately timed, and like, it's hard to like put a bunch of fights in front of you, like to Joe's point, like it's hard to put a bunch of fights in front of you, and then like when you start the game, like you don't have a lot of shit, so you're just kind of getting rocked a little bit until you kind of get your bearings, and that's just kind of the nature of having like the 3 or 4 bosses that you could theoretically find right in the beginning of the game if you just are exploring. So yeah. Now,
does that also apply to like potentially saving people? That's the bigger concern. Like, oh wow, the night passed on, and since I did this thing, I missed an event which resulted in someone dying on me, and I didn't expect them to.
There are in that situation, there is one, and that's a timing thing, but like for the most part, no. Like when you're just exploring and figuring things out at first, anytime I've done that in the past, like made time sensitive like things to find. And I've cut down a lot of those because it does like
it's cruel.
It is cruel, and like you're like, oh, whoops, this person died because I missed this thing, and you can do that maybe, I don't know, like you can do that in certain situations, but in playtests that I've done, I've seen just that like it's more important that the player gets to experience the moment rather than like have to find it a second go around or something. So I try to cut a lot of that down. This game is like a remake of an original version of this game that I did. And in that original, it's like it's pretty much leans like in a good route, but like you do a lot of things and you have a lot of opportunity to screw that up. And so in this one, it's more forgiving, but then also like more understanding to certain decisions, so that if you're going to be a villain the whole time, then like that becomes what you're doing. Like, and the game kind of recognizes that as you go through it in different ways.
Okay, I'm going to spoil the review for later in this episode for you anyway. I do like your game. I enjoyed my time with it. So
That'd want to really cover that. So that if you're like, your game fucking sucks, man.
No. Here's the thing, though, and I'm gonna be blunt about it. If that wasn't a possibility, then I feel like we're just offering a fluff piece here. It should be possible for you to think this game was terrible.
I would hope people weren't coming. I would hope I'm not coming in here to be shit on.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, first of all,
I'm like, oh, thanks guys for inviting me, so you can make me feel bad about my work.
First and foremost, if
it makes you feel better, that's what I do to everybody.
No. Well, we're not all Aki here. If that happened, if by some chance I did not like your game and you were still coming on the show, and that has happened before. It makes me think, okay, it makes me tailor my questions in a different way. Like, okay, in this situation, what was this? Basically, I would ask you direct questions about things I didn't like, more so to say, let me get some feedback on why those choices were made, blah, blah, blah. It might even shift my thoughts before the actual review happened, if I can learn and understand why the game was the way it was in certain aspects of it. But I don't have to do that here, except the woman in the southwest part of town already liked the game. But with that said, though, I will say, if there was something you could think of that you wish you would have added or could have added, but you didn't have either the time or the ability or what have you, what would it have been?
I honestly, when you like set a release date for a game, you like it's you accepting just like everything that's in the game is what's in the game, especially if it's something that like you've told the story and at this point you're just like fluffing it, you're just making it feel like you're filling in gaps, you're adding extra content, you're doing all that stuff. So like the past, like when we got accepted into too many games, I was like, okay, the game is done. Like I want to release it. It would be really cool to release it at the Too Many Games convention. And I'm happy with where the game's at. And like the beauty of like releasing a game on Steam and on the internet in general is that like I can always add more, like I can always sit and just be like, let's just like add another little route or like little thing. Or like I hear a lot of feedback, like even like Pernell's feedback about this character, or like anytime I hear about this kind of stuff, I make notes and then, you can always update games. But so I don't feel a lot of regret in like missing out on stuff necessarily. That being said, there was like some bosses and stuff and like different encounters that were on my list that I would have loved to like figure out and do. But to be honest, like I was happy with how much content was in the game already. And like I felt like if I kept adding more stuff, I would just get stuck. So
I hear that.
Well, in a game that you want to focus on replayability, you don't want to make the game too long.
Right. Yeah.
You put too much in there, people will just get exhausted on repeat playthroughs and they won't see everything that you want them to see.
And I will say that is something I do like about this in its own weird way, in that I don't typically replay games because time is precious. And there's like a jillion games to play at any given freaking time.
Yeah.
You know the deal. But with this game, I feel different because the length is the right amount. And when I got my ending, it was a weird sense in that I was nagged on by like the one or two things I didn't get right. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I gotta do it. And when I first heard that name that I referenced earlier, and I realized, where could it have been at? And I was able to connect the dots and not only realize exactly where it happened, but also get angry at myself because, spoiler but not, this character I saw this character at Too Many Games when someone else was playing the game. I saw it in promotional imagery. It was like smacking me in the face, almost as like everyone in the world did this, but you. Everyone who's played this figured this out, but you. So now I'm like, I was preparing to, like Joe asked earlier, I was this close to just restarting the whole game. I was like, well, I'm not going to just let that be. But then I thought about it, I was like, well, I only played for but so many hours. I can do that. That's not a big deal. I'm going to get the ending I'm already set up for and then just go for a better one later. So I'll probably never go back and get the genocide ending because I just don't have it in me. I can't do that. That's Joe's job.
Dude.
But
it's so funny too, because when I was testing the game, that was the one that I worked with the least, because I was like, I only really care about doing good and like getting everything, whatever. When people play this round, it'll probably, like, it's funny like that somebody's just gonna go through and kill people, but like I didn't think critically about the story. And then the first two like play tests that I actively watched, both of my play testers, without even like saying anything to me, were just like, all right, I'm gonna kill everybody. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then you're looking at everything so differently, because then they're like, a character would say something and you're like, why is he being so nice to this guy? He just killed the other guy like that was in the room with him. Like what the hell was that about? And so that allowed like a lot of revision just there, and like building out different like scenarios and adding that kind of layers of content and stuff, because it was just, I want every playthrough to feel good at the end of the day. It's like I love the fact that you felt inspired to play more, to learn. Like that feels successful for me. But also just like, if you do end up being an asshole the whole time, like I definitely want that experience to make sense also, because I'm the one that put it in the game anyway.
It's funny that says
the whole time is amusing.
See, I can't get behind it. Like, obviously everybody's different, but like, for example, like there's the GTAs. Like, that's the closest I've ever come, I think, to playing a game intentionally being an asshole. Where it's like, okay, I can run these people over and then steal an ambulance and take them to the hospital because I feel guilty about being bad. Like, it's like crap like that. Where in a game like this, it's almost like a perfect litmus test for people's like what they like to do, or what they're pretty much I'm getting the wrong word wrong, but basically where they're pretty much likely to direct towards because the game just straight up says, here, you're resurrected. Kill for me is what the guy says. And you're like, okay, well, got to go get some weapons. I can't kill without weapons. And then I get the gear. Dude shows up. Like, what are you doing in my shop? I'm like, the guy's just trying to run a shop. And people coming in wrecking their town. Stuff is clearly bad here. I'm not doing it. I immediately was like, I'm not doing it. I was like, pacify. Stop fighting me.
By the way, Pernell, if you notice in that encounter, he draws on you first.
Why wouldn't he? You're a freaking skeleton in his shop during a demon invasion. Of course he's going to do it.
So if I'm not supposed to kill everyone, that's self-defense right there, bud.
No, any horror movie that I'm watching, the guy you're walking through the woods at night, shit's crazy, and a hillbilly with a shotgun walks up, and you're like, hey, what's going on? He says nothing, and he just cocks the gun. Yeah, I'm going to draw up on this guy or run. Either way, I'm not going to sit there and think, well, maybe he's just confused. He doesn't want to hurt me. I'll see how this plays out. I'm just going to put my weapon down and see how this goes.
Well, then you draw on him, start shit, get hit, bud.
Hey, he didn't take. He got
hit. He got killed. I wrecked him.
Oh, and then Joe was like, "Well,
he's flashing red." And it's like, he's near death, and it's like, do you want to spare him? I'm like, no, he drew on me.
And then you got Joe here. He's like, well, Joe's like, I already killed once. I can't stop now.
You just got to keep going. Got the taste of blood.
Taste of blood.
And then you keep going. It's like, do what you must. And it's like, all right, I gotta.
Just gonna.
I must have to everything.
Oh my god, I could not. Though at one point there was a point in the game where I realized I was scaring a person. I was like, oh well, maybe I can go and calm them down. And then, and to be fair, I did get a warning in advance if there was something still technically going on in this abode. And then once I saw other things in the house that resembled said thing. And I wondered, is this person using magic to attack me, or they're being accosted by, otherworldly things? So I didn't want to fight any of the things because I was worried that attacking any of them was going to impact that person.
Yeah.
I was juking these spooks. It was a trip. I had fun with it.
That's awesome, man. I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's been like weird things. One thing I want to mention: the fishing. What made you want to add the fishing?
I don't like fishing in any video game, so that was kind of the challenge. It's like, okay, at its basic core, like I play Stardew Valley with my fiance a lot, and like for the first we've been playing the same game for a long time, and for the first I don't know, however long we'd been playing it, like half of the 120 hours we put in, like I didn't touch any of the fishing because I just couldn't do it. And so in running into an opportunity to put it into this game, first of all, it's just funny to be able to say that I put fishing in my spooky skeleton horror game, but also trying to figure out what it is that people enjoy about fishing in a fishing game. So I'd like to add, sorry, I just was gonna say I'd like to add more to it too, because it's now that I'm here, I'm I started playing the fishing in Stardew Valley, so now I'm okay, now I got some new ideas, now I gotta go back and take a look at it.
Are you also starting to come to the light and understanding why fishing is cool in some of these games?
Yes, I'm getting it. I'm apologizing to Ocarina of Time and all the fishing I've been missing out on.
Yes, sir. That's what I wanted to hear. Because to be blunt, this game, when I came across the fishing, my first thought was, why in the hell is there fishing here? And then the second part was, I got to find a fishing pole. I clearly need to fish. Then I went fishing.
Yeah.
Tail's gone to shit. No time for that now. It's fishing afoot.
This throws me back for longtime listeners of the show. They might remember in our early double-digit days, Adam Rippon came on the show to talk about Dragon Fantasy, his RPG. And we joked about adding a fishing minigame. And now you're bringing that to life with your RPG, adding a fishing mini game.
Yes.
We said instead of boss battles, they would be bass bottles as an item in the game.
Gonna write this down.
So yes, if you could put bass bottles in the game, that would be incredible.
You know what I just realized? As much as we're having a good time chatting, I don't think we actually did the basic premise of the game at any point.
No, because you jumped to the end, Pernell. You like immediately jumped to the end.
I'm proud of that fact. Proud of it.
I'm like, tell us about the game. Pernell's like, no, I want to talk about the ending. Tell us about everything at the end.
Yeah.
So then the murdering occurred, and that was the game.
You're a skeleton, and then you do a little murder, or not. It's whatever you want.
You're told to murder, Pernell. You are told explicitly to murder.
Yeah, you failed the very first set of instructions the game gave you
will
to teach you how to play the game.
Until the murder improves.
Exactly.
Never.
Speaking of learning to play the game, I made a critical error the first time I played in thinking that there was some kind of autosave in the game, not knowing that I was supposed to use lanterns. I even tried using a match on a fireplace and thinking, maybe I save at a fireplace. Nope.
Well, no, not lanterns. Not lanterns.
Candles.
Yeah, candles, yes. And I did the same thing you did with the fireplace. I was like, okay, I'm assuming I save at fire. Anything that is fire. And they give you the matchbook that says you only have a certain amount. So I'm like, use them when appropriate. So I lit the fireplace. It was like, I want to feel soothed. Why do I feel soothed at a candle, but not at a fireplace? I feel like it should be at both. But eventually I put two and two together and was able to stick with the candles. But then I started wondering, and by the way, if there is, you're welcome to tell me. Is there like a benefit, whether to your character stats or towards the end game requirements that I might have missed by lighting every single candle minus the candles in that one place with the maze?
No, it's not to get them all.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of a stat. But I guess that's all I can say. But yeah. It's not it doesn't do or don't anything really for you though. I guess is the easiest way to put it.
That's good. So I don't need to kick myself because I may or may not have struck every candle.
There's just one of my favorite things about the game is I've also been working on it for a long time. So there's just a lot of stuff that I've put in the game that does things that don't really impact anything anymore because you put in like plot devices in different pieces and then you take them out because you don't want to bloat the game or to. In the original game there were certain things that had more emphasis as well that don't as much in this game, so I didn't want them to impact like finishing the game or finding certain things, but there's just like all kinds of little hidden things pretty much as I could sneak in ahead of release,
Okay. Well, I'm actually curious, Joe, do you feel, well, actually it's hard to ask because due to the open-endedness, I guess I could ask, how many citizens have you murdered? Because I know you're not saving anybody.
I think 5 or 6, something like that. I tried murdering a few more, but they turned in ooh, we're going to help you. I'm like, son of a bitch, I want to kill you.
So that's interesting to hear this. That confirms to me that apparently, so the priest is still cool with you, even if you're a murdering psychopath. I feel like that should be a thing you could alter later in the game. If you decide to go to murder route, that priest shouldn't be helping you. You're a murderer.
But he's also blind. He's blind. He doesn't know.
That's absolutely irrelevant. But
he knows by feel. He can feel your aura, and your aura stinks of murder.
He does talk about your aura. Or he does he does sense that part, and you also do get. He doesn't have to be spared either.
So Joe could take him out if he wanted to.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure where he is, but at a certain point,
I'm talking about in the still in the town in the inn, the dude who trades herbs.
Yeah, that's the priest.
Okay, then I'll murder him eventually. Then I'll get there. Give me time.
Damn shit! This guy's hooking you up giving you
I
herbs
forgot
that you
about
were
the
worried
lantern
about
the first
burning?
time I played Pernell, and I had to start over. Don't give me shit.
Just being cold buzz, like, hey, I don't know what you're out there doing, little blunt middle person I can't see, but here, have some herbs that I somehow acquired despite being unable to say them. But I have the precision to give you the right herbs, and you're still going to
smells
murder
fishy
me.
with that guy. Something smells fishy with that guy.
Yeah, the fishy is that he's helping a murderer like you.
I'm dead, Pernell. I'm just, taking vengeance out.
Dead tired of the living.
I mean,
what it is.
if he couldn't hear my bones are rattling, I'm either a skeleton or I'm wearing bone armor. Pick one. The priest can hear the bones. He knows something's up.
That's fair. That's fair.
Shake, rattle, and roll. Rattle and roll. But to be fair, his only other friend in the town is also bones. So
yeah,
maybe everyone's bony. You don't know.
So what are some of the influences that you've had in creating this game?
So I was a big Super Nintendo RPG guy. Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, EarthBound, Super Mario RPG.
I love anytime someone says EarthBound.
Yeah, EarthBound. I don't know, like Ness being a silent protagonist, and I love the idea also of the world just kind of happening around a character, which like a lot of those protagonists, for the most part, have. Even like Mario and Mario RPG is just like he pantomimes everything, which is kind of like the way that I do a lot of interpretation with Hudson in the game. But those were like the biggest influence, like in terms of console games. And then I played a lot of RPG Maker games growing up. So like any like RPG Maker horror or like turn-based, like, Final Fantasy fan game kind of thing. I grew up like not having a lot of money or opportunities to play like too many console games if I didn't find them at like a flea market, which back in the day used to be really easy. Not so much anymore. But I would download just like any kind of RPG Maker game I could find, and it would just be like, some other. I was probably 12 or something, and then it was probably another 12 or 13-year-olds like Final Fantasy ripoff game, and it would just be like it would take place in space, and like all the characters would be like sprites from random PS1 or Super Nintendo games. You know what I mean? Like these like amalgams of just all different kinds of games. And growing up, around the RPG Maker community, like you saw like a lot of those game developers ended up being like still making games, and a lot of really good stuff came out of like that environment. So the Deluge is very much influenced and like kind of leans on like these old like downloadable JRPG like fan games by like American teenagers and stuff. So
when did you go from playing RPG Maker to using RPG Maker to create your own stuff?
When I was a kid, I used it a lot, and then I just got away from it for a really long time, and I got back into it when the pandemic hit. I just bought a PC and I re-downloaded RPG Maker, like the old version, and I also was getting into streaming and streamers, so I started doing game development on Twitch and like YouTube and stuff because I had saw there was like kind of an audience and a community of that, and ever since I've just still doing it.
Very cool.
Thanks.
And how long has this version of Deluge been in the works? Is this something that you stream the development of the whole time, or is this something you kind of did offline?
Yeah, a little bit of both. It was a lot of streaming it and just like casually going live and working on it for probably, I would say 3 years. I would say probably like 3 years of development. Most of it was live streamed, but then there were like times where I would just be working on things and doing whatever. But I tried to do live a lot just because it was easier to stay focused when like I knew people were watching me. Otherwise, I would just like gravitate to other games or something,
Yeah, just Reddit opens up on its own,
Dude,
and
yeah,
news
YouTube.
stories pop up on their own, and then YouTube videos open up on their own.
Why do they do that every
it's
time?
Not me at all, I swear to God.
So the accountability was super, super helpful.
That's why I stream this show, to keep my ass in check during interviews.
Yeah, it's nice to have like an audience or something to be present and participate with that kind of stuff. And RPG Maker and game development in particular, just like they're all the same people. Like we're all people that are sitting on a computer. So like, you know, with 3 screens, 3 monitors in front of us. So like one is always going to have something.
Guilty.
And I started watching like other game developer. Like I would be working from home when the pandemic hit, and I would see other game developers that would be doing that during the day, and I would just like hang out, and I made a bunch of friends that way. You know, like and learned that was such a nice, like such a great method to staying focused and like keeping something moving. Plus like people will tell you it's cool or tell you it sucks, and you could like work with that feedback in whatever way was helpful to you. But like it, like a lot of my ideas were you know figured out just from like spitballing it with people in my chat or you know in my comment section or whatever.
How many monitors do you have?
I have 3.
Me too.
Ooh.
I just changed my setup. I had 3 normal monitors. I just switched it to 2 horizontal and a vertical.
Oh, that's what I have, 2 horizontal and a vertical.
And my life is like changed with this vertical monitor because I can have like Twitch and Discord open at all times on this monitor, and then it's just out of sight, out of mind. Now I have 2 other screens to work with, and those 2 things are just always there waiting for me.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny
it.
though. I have like a full-time job, and it's, you know, it's like an office job or whatever. And like for that, I have to use just a small laptop. I can't like have, if I have more screens, I'm just afraid I'm going to infect them with like whatever disease I have here on my big computer.
That's fair. I also did it for pinball games. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I wanted a vertical monitor so I could have full screen pinball.
Cool. I like that idea too.
We are pinball fans on this show. So.
Nice. Did you ever go to what's it called? Asbury Park has the pinball arcade.
I have not. I want to get there. There are so many. There's so many big arcades that I want to try getting to. I know there's I think out near Pittsburgh there's a Pinball Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
I want to try getting to. MagFest has an insane pinball lineup every year. I'm guessing you've been to MagFest?
Yeah, we showed at MagFest in January. That was amazing. I'd never been before, and it was like, it's like life changing. But then we also did like a 24-hour booth, so it had to be like always running. And that was something I'd never seen before. MagFest and too many games. Yeah,
God damn it.
I guess so. I was by Fangamer. If you saw their booth, I was like right around the corner from them. In the indies there. There's
so many indies there. It's hard to get through.
That hall's all amazing.
It's like, cool to see how many people are there for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was working in the indies area and didn't even be there, so that makes me feel sad too.
Dang. Yeah, we were up towards the front there. It was cool.
That was your first
Very
MagFest?
loud though.
That was my first MagFest, yeah. Now,
what'd you think?
Oh my god, it was amazing. Like I applied as soon as they opened up for this year, because now with the game out, I'm like, well, now we gotta come do it again. But it was unbelievable. Like we got there, we got to stay in the hotel, we got to see it built and then watch all the action happen, and like knowing nothing, like I don't think I slept most of that weekend. Like I would get up in the middle
exactly
of the night.
how everyone does it, apparently.
Yeah, I would the real MagFest experience.
I can't, because I drive both ways. I have to stay awake. I take that back. This year was the first time in maybe 10 years or so that I actually did get a hotel room.
Did you?
So,
yeah.
And I didn't drive. So even though I didn't stay on the grounds, I did take a Uber back and forth. So
not bad.
I need to get better at that. I need to learn from you guys how to party all night.
The easy solution is find someone who can either help you get a room at the Gaylord or has a room at the Gaylord. One of the two.
Yeah. We were able to get one just because the indies had a block. So we that was like the one benefit. That's also another reason like to apply if you're an indie. It's like you get to be on site and experience that, which I don't even know. Like it would probably be a way different experience to not have stayed there like for the first time going. But now I'm like, I gotta go again and get in the hotel. I don't know how else to do it.
Yeah,
I will say
it's my favorite thing to do every year.
Yeah.
I will say though, to be fair, if you were to decide you wanted to go and you weren't in the NDK and missed the lottery or whatever, that doesn't need to be the deterrent, because I did not want to do a room at the Gaylord because of the price, and I didn't want to do the Harbor because I could never get one. So I always assumed, well, I'm not going to stay here, but it's actually not bad, like time-wise or whatever, just to get an Uber like at one of the hotels in the surrounding area. So I don't want anyone else to know this because I need the hotels to stay available for me. But it's totally doable to get back and forth. And since you're not driving, you can actually kind of get groggy back to your room too. You don't even have to be very awake, as you call your Uber, to come pick you up.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Nice.
That's nice. That's true.
I'll give you a tip to get in at the Gaylord.
Beat someone over the head with a shovel.
No, check on certain dates. Check around Christmas, check around New Year's, and check when payments go through with MagFest, because the room lottery stays open. Like the landing that you can get rooms for, that stays open the whole time so that people could still get rooms. And if people cancel, those rooms go back into the pool for anyone to grab. So around Christmas, people are canceling their rooms. Around New Year's, people are canceling their rooms. And when payments go through, people get their rooms canceled on them. So those are the best times to check for rooms on the platform.
Yeah. No kidding.
I need to get on that and lodge it myself. That is a good deal.
So if you pay attention, you could get into the Gaylord and still keep your sanity.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest, but there are ways. So.
Yeah. It's very cool. It was life-changing. I mean, we saw concerts like throughout the whole time, and even being able to, like, even just doing the booth, like, we still got so many opportunities to do stuff. But
did you check out? What shows did you check out?
We saw, I can't remember the name, but they were a Stardew Valley metal band. What were they called? But I saw them, and I saw a Chrono Trigger progressive metal band called Kingdom of Zeal, and they were unbelievable. Like, their show, you would not believe that was like their first show in so long, but they played just like these unbelievable Chrono Trigger covers, and that's like that's probably my favorite soundtrack of all time.
That's definitely up there with one of the greatest.
And then like a lot of the small bands that were playing around, and like the chiptune artists and stuff, like popped in a lot of those things too. But those were the two bands that we were like destined, we like set out to see. It was cool.
Yeah, I love talking about MagFest. I always have to bring it up. I've been to every single one, and Pernell helped start the thing.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah, we've been around the block. Pernell.
Yeah.
Pernell, what all did you do at Mag One?
That's how I met him.
Wow.
So, Mag One, I was the game room head, and I did help with promoting it. Like, we traveled to different, we went to E3, for example, try to promote the show and get like prize donations and sponsorships and the like.
Yeah.
And I was like basically an idea head for bouncing things off of back and forth. Like, I was in communications for stuff like, hey, what about these things? Da, 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 da. I was not the money. I did not have money. I was broke as shit. But I did supply, along with my two friends who were also, they partnered with me to run the game room. We brought all of our game consoles and stuff there to supply the room, and we had a few donations and stuff. It was a cool thing. I will say, I do not regret being there with that.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Especially seeing where it's become. I do wish I was getting money through it somehow. Some
For sure.
backdoor method somehow. But no, I don't regret it at all. I'm glad that people still enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the most important thing of all, oddly enough, even though MAG is still happening and people love it, the most important thing, in my opinion, is that it kind of started a trend, because before MagFest, there weren't any video game conventions. They didn't exist, except for E3.
It was all anime.
And it was all anime, and game rooms were this little pocket in the corner, which that's pretty much why I primarily went to anime cons. My second one was to play video games. And now it's like, I don't need to go to anime cons. I can go to video game conventions. do the thing I actually wanted to do. And now all these guys are bringing bands in too. So yeah, that's great.
Hell yeah.
Which was another thing that MagFest
we
one taught me.
usually know some of the bands.
Like when Mag 1 happened, that was when we even learned that VM cover bands existed.
Right.
Because they were all underground, like in garages and mess. So, and now everyone's got fun
in the
platforms.
1-ups. Hell yeah. And they're both still around from Mag 1. They're both still playing today.
Yeah,
which I appreciate. And
that is cool.
So, what is next for Deluge? I'm curious to know, can we see native controller support come to the game?
Dude, I have to figure that out because I'm pretty sure that the controller support is broken because of how I have the Steam input settings done. When the game was put together, when the game was releasing, about 3 days before the game was supposed to release, they came out. Steamworks has this feature that they'll do like a full test of your Steam input, and then you get graded for the Steam Deck. And I could not get, like, I had 3 days. I don't even think I was home. I was preparing for too many games actually, and like there is like Steam setting piece, like you can go, like, I think download the Steam input settings, but that is something that is coming yet. I don't know why it broke the way it did.
Yeah, it's odd when I want to. I keep hitting the B button to go back, but it's like, no, I have to hit the start button to go back.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm glad that Joe also played it that way, because I was about to say two things. One, is there something I may have missed out on by not playing it on a PC, because I played it exclusively on the Steam Deck.
That's cool.
Second, I never found the dash button. I just used always dash in the options.
Yeah,
never found the button.
Yeah, that's interesting. Definitely is coming, yes.
Are there
but
any
it also does give you validity to say that the game still is playable because it was beaten on a Steam Deck despite not knowing what the dash button is.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. When you launch on Steam, there's so many different things that are so specific to Steam itself that I'm not at my heart, I'm not a programmer. I'm a game developer. Like, I use tools to make games. So like when you get into the back end and you're like setting things up to work for controller, mouse, and keyboard support, like, and touch support as well. Like with Steam, they're like, do you want it to be like WASD and arrow keys, or do you want it to be like gamepad? And I'm like, oh, but how do we do all of them? So definitely something that,
can
like,
I pick both?
Right, exactly. Something that I still have to work on, but it's coming.
Are there any plans for console ports at all? Have you talked to possibly any publishers to help with that?
I did, actually. At Too Many Games, a couple of them, both times, I've done Too Many Games twice, and at both of them, people have approached me to do that. But I just want to iron out everything that I can before, like, we start on those. I'm hoping by the end of the year, but you know, every time I set a date on something, it gets pushed back. So
yeah.
when it's ready, it's ready, you know. But
that's fair.
Yeah, but we are doing an event on August 8th called Short Short Fest, and it's at a drive-in theater in, like, kind of in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania. But it is a animation, like, cartoon and indie video game event. So we'll be there showing Deluge stuff there, and hopefully other stuff soon.
That's going to be an outdoor thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's there's like an indoor part of the facility, which is where we'll be, but yeah, the whole thing is,
do you
like,
have tents set up and generators just plugging.
Can you imagine
playing
video games
glaring?
in the heat? Oh, no way, dude. But I am very curious to see how
overheating. I don't know, because it's fucking 110 outside.
Yeah, I picked up one of the ROG allies. That's the thing that always messed me up about the Steam Deck, is that I could get it to play controller and stuff totally fine on the ROG ally, but I've never used a Steam Deck personally, so that's also been confusing to me.
I almost would assume it'd probably be easier on the Steam Deck than the ROG by virtue of just how Steam OS functions, but I also need to get my hands on a ROG because I've heard great things about it.
It's pretty good. Really cool device. I like it because I put all my emulators on it, and then I play a lot of PC games that are like, I have to put the whole thing on there, and the ROG at the end of the day is just a Windows PC in your hands with Xbox controller.
Yeah,
but
now,
it is really nice.
Ask, were you lucky enough to get one before the crazy price hike on it?
Oh no, I just got it. That was what I spent with my Deluge money here.
Oh, there you go. Worthy use of Deluge money.
Yeah. That was that and a new chair were things that I promised myself after the game came out.
Actually, speaking of Deluge, I gotta ask this in a chuckle manner. I don't know why. It made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Did you kind of laugh to yourself when you decided to put a Deluge spell in a game called Deluge, with the name Deluge not being referring to water in the title?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everybody, when they see it, usually when I watch people stream the game, they see that and they're like, that's the name of the game. And it's just it's a dumb moment, but it's also one of my favorite moments.
I earned the name of the game.
Yeah. Everybody loves a cheeky reference, you love your favorite album that has a song title that's the same as the album. And then you bonus points if the name of the song is the name of the band and the album. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
yep.
I liken it more towards any time someone says the name of a movie in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Bonus points if they quickly look at the camera and wink. Like they break the fourth wall.
This is our Independence Day.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the name, I get it.
They said the title right there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Insanity.
I
know we've been chatting for a while. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't bring up?
No, man, I just appreciate the opportunity. It's fun to talk to people about the game. Now, having the game out and having people that can play it and stuff is the coolest, opportunity for me. And so being able to like kind of chat with people that I don't know who have, feelings about it and have experienced it and stuff is always really like a pleasure for me. So I just appreciate the invite.
Also a pleasure is the fact that we just got a retired USAF gamer. Thank you for subbing to us on Twitch. Appreciate you being here. Enjoy the kitty cats and the emotes. Do you have any pets?
I do. I posted them in your Discord, actually. I have a cat and a dog. They're both, my cat is 16 and then my dog is 7.
Oh, 16. That's up there.
Yeah, he was my fiance's cat at first, but now he's my buddy. When he moved in, he and I got, we just get along really well. I've never had a cat before, so
you bonded.
Yeah, he's cool.
We have 14.
14 cats?
Yes.
He's not lying either.
Joe has what we call a fucking problem.
Yeah.
14.
Agreed.
Oh man, I'm gonna need to see pictures. I'm gonna need to see a picture of every single one.
I don't have a picture of all 14 of them. Some of them don't get along well enough to be in the same room together. Mm-hmm. But I have an older picture that has most of them eating breakfast together. I'll pop that in our
please do
our cats and cute shit.
The feeding is wild from the videos he sent back in the day.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Chris Taylor is here. Chris, how are you doing?
Hey.
How's things going
doing
with
right.
you? Have you played Deluge at all?
No, I haven't, but it looks cool.
Thanks, man.
For those who don't know what the game is, give us the sales.
Hour in. Tell us about your game.
Yeah,
might as well
go back to the beginning.
Old school horror JRPG, plays a skeleton. It's a game about morality and
not having one.
Yeah, exactly. And there you have it.
Well, you have morality. It's just low. It's a dark morality, but it's there.
That's fair. Yeah. But it's very much about turn-based combat and choice mechanics and puzzles and stuff.
Nice.
What are some of your favorite puzzles in the game?
In Deluge?
Yeah.
I have this maze that I was really excited about making towards the end of the game with a bunch of spiders and stuff. That I really enjoy watching people play and figure out, because you get to see like you're just inflicting psychic damage on your friends pretty well when you're testing it and stuff. So it's like play testing it and getting to see reactions and learn how people interpreted it. It was like super cool.
It took me a hot second to get through that.
It's a little bit confusing, and sometimes I think I put the answers to things where I consider to be like on the nose, and then it turns out that like people don't find that sort of a thing, and so and that was definitely one that I'm like super proud of, that I enjoyed making.
I'll admit, I actively got through there from trial and error and just brute forcing.
Fair enough.
Because I had the solution, but when I tried to do what I thought that solution was telling me to do, it did not work. So, and after a couple times, it's like, you know what? Fuck it.
Wait.
I'm just
slow down. Wait.
Force this.
Wait, I might have missed a bit here. Brute force. What did you brute force?
The solution to the maze.
The spider maze.
How? Like,
by picking things until they fucking worked?
No. My understanding, that's a lot of brooding, specifically because
it
of
was. It took me about an hour and a half to get through that puzzle.
So my story was, I remembered seeing it, like as far as like a thing saying, here's a thing, and I'm like, this is going to matter later. But I thought it was a book. So when I went to the maze, I went to look for the book, couldn't find it in my notes. It's like, maybe I misremembered. Maybe I got to find this book. So I checked all the bookshelves. Didn't see it. So I was like, crap, I don't know where this thing was. So I went back and tried to brute force it again. And then Vinny said, screw this. I'm not doing this. I need to find this. I must have missed something. And then there was a plaque, and you don't record plaques. So it was like, oh, there it is. But like,
yeah, no, I had a picture of it. I knew exactly. I read it, and I knew that was for there, and I just trying to follow the instructions for it just didn't seem to work for me, so I just brute forced it.
But that's the thing, though. Like, you see, at least for me, when I saw that, it was still a couple hours before I actually came across the actual maze. So it was like out of sight, out of mind for a bit. And that's like,
I took pictures of everything that I read that I was like, oh, this might be important later. I just took a picture of it with my phone. And as I saw things, and I was like, oh, I don't need this picture anymore. I delete it.
Did you find the hidden boss, though?
Yes.
All right.
100%ed this game.
We can handshake that thing.
Thank you.
For the record, is there more than one hidden boss, or is that it? Making sure I didn't miss anything.
No, I think there's only one. There's like option. I guess there's optional
you made
encounters,
the game.
but
You should do more than think there's only one.
I mean,
you should know.
Well, that's the thing. That's the beauty of choice and adding routes, is that certain things kind of become like relevant.
Optional,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. Like I mean, like again, I didn't. Where's Elizabeth? Elizabeth?
There is like one like specific hidden boss that's intentional. So if that's what what you're talking about is that's just that guy.
Okay, yeah, and I definitely took his butt down then.
Mm-hmm.
The
his ass
reward
was hard to find.
I wish I was able to get it sooner. Actually, I don't know if I could say the same thing. Like, I didn't know I was coming across him. I was just looking for everything I could, thinking that, this must lead to the final boss or something. I was like, no, this is the dude. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna knock his face off. That's cool then. Whatever, he's here.
I'm here to kill.
I'm here to kill him. This is where I'm allowed
Aki
to
100% it with her playtime that I saw on Steam.
Did you get all 3 endings? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I got every achievement in the game.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, you got all the endings.
I 100%ed it. That's what I mean when I say I 100%ed something. I 100%ed it.
Yeah.
If there was something to do in it, by God, I fucking did it.
Let me see.
I am what they call a loser.
So in that case, you had to have gotten the bad ending and the good ending.
Yeah.
With that said, I got to figure out there's an achievement that is in this. Well, I'm able to talk to Aki about it, not spoiled on the show, but I got 6 and I have 6 out of the 10, but there's only 3 locked, which means there's a 4th one that just is hidden until you get it. And I apparently need to figure out what that is. So
Pernell's being so vague to the point of confusion.
It's not vague. I'm being blunt. There are 10 achievements in the game. I've earned 6, and only 3 remain locked, which means there's a 4th one that doesn't show up. It's hidden.
I mean, go into global achievements and just look.
No, but you could just tell me.
How do you think I knew what the achievements were and went looking for them? That's how.
So I'm assuming your first playthrough, you went through without using the sword?
I think that was my second playthrough.
Because I'm trying to remember. I guess you can pacify the shopkeep.
And you can pacify every human.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I guess you can get lightning magic before you fight. No. You'd have to let Elizabeth die then. Right? Am I missing something here on that thought process?
Pernell, let's not ruin it. We gotta let the players enjoy it for themselves.
Like, what can I say here?
Yeah, y'all can discuss it in private time after.
But he was going to say, he was already thinking, what can he say? He was planning. He had an answer for me. I want it.
I'll DM you. I'll send it to you.
I appreciate it.
We can't give it all away. We can't give it all away.
Give it away. It's in the song. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now.
Right the fuck now.
What you got?
Now.
What you got? You got
adding lyrics.
What you got to get it in you. Why don't we say, I could hug and kiss you? Oh, I like those lyrics. Everyone likes that.
Those are way better. Our lyrics are our children, man. Like, no way. That's burned into my brain.
It was such a good joke. Everyone can appreciate that.
Oh man. Well, Chris Riggs, we've been chatting with you for a while. We should probably let you get going. For the people listening, where can people get the game? How much is it? Give us all the details.
You can go to delugegame.com. It's $10. Or if you can wait, it's probably be on sale soon. And I have also physical copies of the game available. Complete game on the disc. You can pirate it. You can do whatever you want with it. You own it. It's your game. Comes with a 12-page manual, a sticker sheet of 6 stickers, download code, Bandcamp code if you want the soundtrack. I think that's everything in there.
And a purple case.
Yeah, and then they come in like a really cool purple case with reversible artwork, and they're all beautifully printed. They were printed by Delisted.world, who is a new independent physical media producer. He's been doing it under another name for a really long time, but this is the first time doing a game. But yeah, we have those. We have soundtracks as well. It's a 2 CD soundtrack. You can pick up all those. Delugegame.com has all the links that you need. It's also on Steam and itch, and hopefully console by the end of the year. And if that happens, hopefully we'll be at an event that we'll see you guys at.
Very cool.
And intentionally, we'll make sure
we will see you there.
Yeah.
Because we always make MagFest. I'm going to have to do Too Many Games more. This was my first Too Many Games, and it was really cool.
The way that you were talking about... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Like, I've always wanted to go, but it was like I've never... It's far enough that I don't want to drive back and forth in one day, but like I don't want to pay for a hotel in Philly.
To be fair, you're outside of Philly.
For you're in the greater Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
But I've actually been going to Too Many Games before it was even... I was in high school, I think, when it was like an early inception of it. And it was in Reading, Pennsylvania, which is not as great as Oak, Pennsylvania. So it's definitely not the worst place. I live like in South Philadelphia now, so it's like even closer to me than it was growing up. But it's just gotten bigger and bigger every single year, and like the guests are always really cool. And doing the indie game showcase the past couple of years, like there's so many good people around that. I get to meet people like Pernell because
oh yeah, like I love the indie game showcase, and I like that it's getting bigger and bigger. I had to go through and like get all gabby, and I'm like, hey, tell me more about your game. I'm all interested into it. And
so many good games.
I love that more events are having indie game showcases as well.
Yep.
Very cool.
Which is good. I mean, I'd rather go play an indie game.
Aki, did you have any
100%.
final questions?
Not really, but I did have one statement. That last boss is such a bitch.
Wait, what?
I have no
Is he?
idea how long I spent fighting that fucker.
Uh-huh.
Are we talking about the same final boss?
I don't know what playthrough.
I don't even want to say it because it's a spoiler now, but I'm like, if anything, without saying anything, I remember beating him and things like, oh, there's going to be another phase. There has to be. And then there wasn't. And I was like, oh, well, I just kicked his ass then. Whatever. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, see, for me, the very first time I played through it, I was going the happier route, and just the only thing I had that really did any damage was one specific spell, but it hurt me too, and I was like...
Sounds like you didn't get it blessed, buddy.
I had it blessed, and then...
It doesn't hurt you anymore then.
Well, until a certain point.
I'm like, oh, like honestly, I was using it when it was hurting me, and I really didn't have to. I was like, well, this is just the thing. I'm using it almost
I
everywhere.
used it a lot even when it hurt me too, and then it stopped hurting you, and I was like, oh, this is like, for a lot of these enemies, this is the perfect spell. And then I wanted to use it for that fight, and it hurt me at that point. So, and I was like, well, fuck my life. I had to go through it with that, and I'm like, God damn, this sucks. Because everything else did like a third of that amount of damage. And I was like, fuck, I really have to just use this, or I'm going to be fighting here for like the next 20 hours.
See, this is going to have to be an offline thing for me, because I want to ask you a question that's a spoiler. And I'm wondering if this may have played a role in this, because what you're describing in no way happened to me. And I also went the sugarcoat happy-go-lucky ending too. That did not happen. So I'm wondering what you did.
Me too now at this point.
About to start a little conversation here on the side.
Tangents.
Yes,
That's all this show is tangents.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to wrap up and move on with the show, and Pernell's like, no, we're going to talk about the ending of the game.
So
And
tell
Aki's
me
like,
exactly
fuck
how many
final
bones...
boss. Let's talk about the final boss ending.
So, Riggy, tell
Let's
us,
ruin
how
it
many
all.
bones is Hudson Skeleton? How many bones are contained in Hudson
This
Skeleton?
is your final question, Pernell. You're using your final question on this.
Oh,
Pernell, there are 206 bones in Hudson the Skeleton.
All right, there we go. I was close. I assumed he might have lost one prior to being resurrected. But
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. You know,
Or if it
Might
was
have to
broken, you
lore
might
a little
have
bit.
to.
well, you got it. You're the creator. You know. I'm taking you for the gospel here.
That's right. No, you're right.
Okay,
Pernell, final question. What do you got?
Well, I guess I will ask.
God damn it, Pernell.
Now that you gave it to me, what do you expect?
Hey, you asked him.
You ain't lying. Thanks, Chris. Support, man. That's what bros do. So with this being a game you completed, it's a good game, great game. So thank you for making it. What is next on the horizon if you were to decide you want to go on and make another game?
I'm working on something that is. I'm working on a couple things, but I'm working on like a first person dungeon crawler. And studying kind of the genre, so I've been trying to play a lot more like old school dungeon crawler kind of stuff. And I think it's going to be space themed, so I have like some movie things to watch and influences that I want to like kind of soak up, things that I've never seen before. You know, like I just picked up Xenogears for PS1. I don't know if y'all played that one, but I never played that game, and so I'm super excited to sit down and play that. But yeah, I'm working on something like that. I'm working on something that's kind of like Deluge in like a RPG kind of sense. And then I think I'm going to start a game on my Twitch stream and like kind of build it with like participation, as well as like try and turn it into some kind of lessons and stuff, because I've gotten to learn a lot, and I've learned a lot through watching people like, you know, stream or YouTube videos and stuff. And I've never tried to do that myself. So I want to do like an introductory, like how to use RPG Maker MZ, but also like make something that could either be something bigger or also just like something that I can share out with people like as a template or something. So that's what I'm trying to do next, but also just take a break and play games. I need to play a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you got that ROG Ally now. You got to burn through it.
I know. All my indie games, I'm like downloading everything that I played at Too Many Games that was available. I'm like picking up now and playing.
Actually, wait. I do have one more question. I'm breaking the rules. What outside of your own personal game was your favorite game that you came across at Too Many Games?
At Too Many Games? So last year I got to meet the Blocks for Babies, which is an amazing concept. You are playing Tetris and then the game switches to 3D and then you're playing Doom and the blocks are now monsters and you're fighting like block monsters in Doom.
Ooh.
And it's a score, like it's a roguelike where you're scoring points and building up, but it has like a whole plot around this character Flapper that you play as, and it's beautiful. Really awesome game. We were next to them last year. Our booth was right next to them, so we got to like hang out all weekend, and then this year we both got in again and we were like across from each other, so like that was really cool. But that game is actually like very good and really fun.
Guess what just got added to my wish list?
Yeah. And then other than that, I mean, they were all really good. Right now I am playing a little bit of like what am I looking for here? Of the Devil.
The name of a game.
Yeah. I was
the Devil. Yeah.
Like, why am I blacking out? Which is like a really cool, like mystery, like visual novel type game. And like, I don't play a lot of those, and I've been trying to play some more of that stuff because, like, you know, in Deluge, a lot of the character interactions are really short and to the point. And like, I like the idea of kind of like building out a narrative with more dialogue and that sort of a thing. So I'm kind of just learning from all of these awesome other games that I've seen, you know. But those two are amazing.
Good choices.
Yeah, a lot of really good games the past 2 years. Well, and pretty much every time I guess I've been there, to be honest.
Fair.
All right. Chris, did you have any questions before we wrap up?
You better hurry up, Joe, because if you don't...
Nope, none at all. I'm good.
Pernell telling me to hurry. Do you know whose show this is, Pernell? Now I'm going to take even longer.
Hey, I'm not knocking.
Show,
I'm just letting you know I might ask more questions. You might want to get your rapping while you can.
I have a question on a selfish level, jumping back a bit. You said you loved EarthBound. Have you ever heard of Bound Together?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Is a EarthBound remix project, music project.
Oh, I think I have.
I'll link you just in case you haven't.
Yeah, I was big on like Starman.net like growing up too. So that sounds like something that I feel like I would have come across just at some point.
they hosted on there, but like a lot of people think they did it. A lot of people think OC Remix did it. No, I did it. It was all me.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, then I definitely got to check it out. Absolutely. Did you play the EarthBound Beginnings remake?
A remake?
Of EarthBound Beginnings? Wait, yeah, and it's made in EarthBound?
I have not heard of that.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about now. I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, they did. Oh. Yeah, they recently released EarthBound Beginnings, but somebody used the original, the EarthBound system. So it's basically 16-bit EarthBound Beginnings.
They use this thing called PK Hack, which is a software that lets you pretty much just mess with the EarthBound ROM.
That's
and
cool.
Over the past 20 years, it's passed through multiple hands, but they recreated all like the entirety of EarthBound Beginnings in EarthBound, and like then they like did some like quality of life features. They did some like little things here and there or whatever, but it's got the same difficulty. It's got the whole same like story beats and stuff. It's fantastic. I'm only like a couple hours into it, and like I will sing its praises as much as I can. It's unbelievable. Definitely got to play that.
You're gonna have to get me on. We'll talk after the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Where can people keep up to date with you and what you're doing?
I have a YouTube channel, Riggy2K3, on there. I stream on Twitch a lot, but if I'm playing something, like I play a lot of indie games, I'll stream to both Twitch and YouTube. And then I'm Riggy2K3 on everything. You can find me on every social media that exists, I guess, except for TikTok. I'm not on there yet, or maybe at all, but we'll see. And And yeah.
Very good. Chris, I want to thank you so much for coming on, chatting with us. Again, the game is Deluge. It is available now. People could check it out and play it and enjoy it right now. We are going to take a quick break. We will be back with more show with Chris chatting with us. We got reviews that we got to take care of. Chris, do you have any final words to Chris is on here? Yeah, that doesn't make shit confusing at all. Christopher Riggs. Riggy, do you have any final words to end this interview?
No. Thank you, and play Deluge.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. Another huge thanks to Chris Riggs for coming on to chat about Deluge with us. We got more show to take care of. We got reviews we got to talk about, and we're swapping Chris's. Chris Taylor's here. Chris, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good.
How's things been with you?
Oh, pretty all right. I've been slowly trying to organize my office space and actually catalog my video games. That's a bit of a project, but I went through my collection and I pulled down, or I sought out and pulled down like doubles. That is to say, games that I accidentally bought twice. Like it was already there on the shelf, and I bought it again.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I got enough of like things that were like either doubles or redundant in my collection that I was able to trade for like a big, not a big stack, but a good stack of like PlayStation 2 and other kind of games. Do you want to know what I got?
Something.
Ooh, what'd you get?
Yeah, Pernell?
That just reminded me of something. Didn't you have a second copy of Roland's Curse at one point?
I think we we figured out that I didn't actually have it. I thought I did.
I was like, I think if you're like, I could send it to you. I was like, okay, I forgot all about it. But you made the comment about doubles. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought I had a double of that, and I was going to send you the double, but it turns out I do not. It doesn't seem, but
well, the important part is you have a copy of Roland's Curse.
Yeah. I love that game. That's one of my Game Boy games I actually played as like a teenager. So one of the few.
I'm envious. Like, yeah, teenager.
Well, I was an older teenager too. I was an older teenager when the Game Boy Color came out, and that's when I repurchased the system. And then because my original Game Boy. Oh no! I did have it for my original Game Boy. Yes, because I remember. Yeah, actually, no, I do remember that I played it on my original Game Boy. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
What
does anybody
cool PS2 games did you get with your trades?
Well, I don't know about if they're cool, but I got them.
Oh, no.
Well, okay, so the big prize that I was going for, this is actually what instigated me, like, going through my shelf and looking through stuff, is that my local place got in this, like, amazing GameCube trade, like, everything just flawless, like, and they brought in, like, all the hits, you know? But they brought in one in particular that I had been looking for and had not ever purchased because it always is like just priced a little bit ahead of what I could afford when on the very, very rare occasion I would ever see it in a store. And I have been looking for this thing since it was new. So this is like a 20-year journey come to a close. It's the game Lost Kingdoms 2.
Wow,
I feel like I'm thinking about the wrong game. That's not...
It's about 100 and it's over 150 now.
Damn. I keep forgetting all GameCube games are like stupid expensive now.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely way up there. But so the original Lost Kingdoms, you know, wasn't that bad, and I picked that one up back in the GameCube era. So like when it was, I bought a slightly used copy for pretty cheap, and then I was like, okay, this is cool. I like this game. And then, you know, the second one came out. It was too expensive for me to afford at the time, and then I waited a while, and then it got a little more expensive, and I waited a while, got, you know, all that, and now it's like it's actually on the I would say lower end of like desirable GameCube games in terms of price. Like if I was looking for like Go-Go Hyper Grind, I'd be like in trouble. That game's like $700 now.
Ooh.
Oh Jesus! Another game I wanted to buy, but told myself I should save the money. Regrets.
Well, you know, never do that.
If I could go back in time and tell myself to not get rid of my GameCube collection,
yeah, could have given it to me.
I was
anyway,
in Arkansas at the time, and I had to get home because my sister had viral meningitis, and we didn't know if she was going to make it. So I moved back home and sold my GameCube collection to get there.
I understand. I mean, you know, we're like, you know, crazy, you know, mountain folk with like bars of gold, you know. We only got the one thing that's valuable, and it's old ass video games.
There's even some Xbox 360 games that are starting to like get some good value to them. I just picked up this week Need for Speed Most Wanted, the original Xbox 360 launch title version. That thing, I had a friend who was selling it. I was like, yeah, I'll take this list of games. And he priced them out, and he had that listed at $11. I'm like, is that the new version? I'm looking for the original. He's like, no, that's the original. I'm like, dude, you should double check the price on that. Because it's like an $80 game, and he had it priced at $11.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing that to you, man. I am not going to take advantage of you. So.
That happened. That confusion happened with me recently, except it was at a store, and I did take advantage of them. They had a copy of Wii Party on the shelf, and they had it marked as Wii Play. So, you know, there's like a million, billion, zillion copies of Wii Play because it came with a controller back then, right? So they had it marked at $11. Wii Party, which is a later Wii specific, like, you know, kind of trying to tap into that Wii Sports like success. That's like gotten to like around $100 now. So
jeez.
So I got it for $11. I just didn't tell them their mistake. The funny thing is, I could tell when I brought it up there that the guy like looked at it and like could tell that he knows I'm getting, you know, he knew what I was doing. He knew what I was doing, but I don't think he knew if I knew what I was doing, you know? So, like, he looked like he was struggling to whether he should tell me that this is actually worth a lot more money, but instead he just rung it up. Anyway. So yeah, Lost Kingdoms 2. I knew I had to get on it as especially now as well because both Lost Kingdoms were actually developed by From Software, so the Dark Souls people, and
so value will only likely go up.
Yeah, anything FromSoft developed before Dark Souls is like raised up in price astronomically. But Lost Kingdoms 2 was always expensive because I think it was a unpopular sequel to an unpopular game. So
yeah, on an unpopular console.
But Lost Kingdoms came out towards the beginning of the GameCube's like run, so I think that got purchased a lot more, but people couldn't figure it out, so they probably just skipped 2. Anyway, so it's mine now.
Like Phantasy Star Online episode 1 and 2 isn't that bad, but Plus is insane.
Yes. Wait, which one's the card game? Isn't that online 3 or something?
Yeah,
nice.
Episode 3.
I do want to check that out someday. But anyway, it's funny you mentioned that because the PlayStation 2 games, one of them I got was Phantasy Star Universe.
Nice.
Yeah, I never played it before, but I understand the single-player campaign is good.
It's a fantastic game. I have both of them for the PlayStation 2. They're so good.
Yeah, I got the first one.
There was a second
and then also,
one?
Yeah. I think there was 3, wasn't there?
I think there was only 2, but that could be just my Wikipedia. I don't know because I didn't really get into this series after the Genesis. I I got the first 4 Phantasy Stars, but then after that I kind of dropped off because they were online and I wasn't interested in online. But I didn't realize that they had such good single player content because nobody ever talks about that. And speaking of online, that's also offline. I got Ark the Lad, End of Darkness.
Nice.
Which was one of the online enabled ones. I think that's the action game. And then I also got Ark the Lad, Twilight of the Spirit. I have not yet gotten into the Ark the Lad series, so I'm looking forward to kind of getting into them. Those 2 were very cheap. And speaking of cheap, I also got Demon Stone, which is a D&D Forgotten Realms game. So, like a Western RPG, essentially. I got Wild Arms 4, so now I've got the first 4 Wild Arms games ready to go. Get. Yeah, that was a good get. And it's, again, these are from a trade that everything is super clean and nice, too, so that's really good. And then on PlayStation 1, I got Master of Monsters, Disciples of Gaia, which is one of those PlayStation 1 games that I would have never picked up if I only saw the front cover. Because it's just this seal. It looks like it's a beat 'em up or a fighting game or something like that, but it's actually a full-fledged JRPG, kind of a Pokemon deal where you're collecting monsters and making them fight and stuff. And it's yeah. So I had learned about what Master of Monsters was a little more recently, so I was excited to see it in the store and pick it up. And then this one I'm in a weird way equally excited about from Lost Kingdoms 2, but for a completely different reason. I finally picked up Unlimited Saga on the PlayStation 2.
Oh gee.
It's a board game saga game.
Well, I guess, but I don't know anything about it, and don't anybody tell me because I'm going to actually stream it completely blind, because my one friend who also enjoys bad games and unpopular RPGs was yeah, this is the worst game, and other games aren't even close. They're not even in the orbit of how bad Unlimited Saga is.
Well, that seems harsh.
Well, she's a harsh person, but I was great. I'm really excited then to see if I actually like this or not, because, I definitely like games.
I will say this without a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler to say this, is that, well, Saga is known for being unconventional. Well, this is the unconventional of unconventional.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, is because I do enjoy Saga, so it's let's see if we can go a step further is actually really interesting to me. But yeah, so that was my stack. Again, just from doubled up, there was 6 Wii games I had doubles of, for instance.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
I'm looking, there is no official Phantasy Star Universe 2. There's Phantasy Star Universe, and then Ambition of the Illuminous, which is an expansion, but it's not actually 2.
But it's sold separately and packaged separately, so...
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was 2. It's been a long time since I played those. Those are somewhere. I still have those somewhere. I loved those games. I played the shit out of those games. Well, I played a shit out of the first one. The second one I didn't like as much, but the first one was so fucking good. I loved that game.
The way I understand it, which is to say the way I read it on Wikipedia, is that that second game is a standalone expansion, so you can play it without having the original, but it's expanded on the original. So in that sense, it's a little bit of a sequel.
Okay. Yeah, that was. Those are the only 2 Phantasy Star games I've ever played.
Nice. I played the Genesis ones. I love Phantasy Star 4. Like
welcome in, Architects of Fate. Big Adam said you were on your way. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. I hope your stream went well. He said there'd be sandwiches. Well, he's a liar. We don't have sandwiches. We have weed, though. A lot of weed. Look you up there.
Even weed that Joe can drink.
Yeah, we do. I have
It's fucking weird still.
It is weird.
I'm on THC.
Mr. Adam is in chat as well. How are you doing, Mr. Big Adam? Welcome in, everybody. We are the SML podcast. We are a video game podcast. We just had an interview earlier tonight for the game Deluge, which we are about to review in a little bit. We have 5 games to review tonight. Should we dive into these?
Yeah, I guess.
We better. My connection's starting to turn yellow, so I don't know how much longer I have to have solid internet.
Do you want to disconnect and reconnect quick?
No, that's not going to help anything.
Oh, no.
We'll just get through it.
All right. First game to talk about tonight, 70s style robot anime Geppy-X, developed by Implicit Conversions, published by Bliss Brain, released July 16th. Xbox Play Anywhere, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC for $39.99. A mysterious force calling itself the Cosmic Demon Empire suddenly launched an assault on Earth, commanding an army of colossal beast-shaped war machines known as the Space Beasts. Meanwhile, at a certain top-secret space robot laboratory somewhere in the Far East, preparations had been made just in case something like this ever happened. Oh yeah, convenient. Thus, the newly developed transforming and combining combat robot Geppy-X was deployed into action. Chris, tell us what is going on in 70s style robot anime Geppy-X.
What isn't going on? No, I'm just kidding. I just like to say stupid things. Sorry, I was looking up the composer right quick. I actually had not done that. Anyways, so yeah, 70s robot anime Geppy-X, I don't know. GIF or GIF, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So this is a HD remaster cleanup project that just came out. Was originally a PlayStation 1 game, a Japan-only PlayStation 1 game for reasons that are actually kind of sensible, that came out back in 1999, which is actually kind of funny because if you think about it, this game is as old now as the 70s were when it came out originally. So it's a throwback of
Oh.
Yeah. It's a throwback of a throwback. So yeah, some folks I guess get to experience double nostalgia for this particular title. But yeah, so I've always said that I love a shmup with a gimmick, and boy howdy, does this one have a gimmick. I would say that this is a real work of passion because. So what 70s robot anime Geppy-X is, it's a horizontal scrolling shmup. And, if you want to know what a shmup is, go play the game Beaker Reloaded. They'll tell you. Actually, I want to make a slight digression. If you go to my backloggery, which I think is just backloggery.com/liar exaggerate or whatever, I changed my banner to be the screenshot from Beaker that's like, let me tell you about shmups. Anyway, so that's I'm using that now
Nice.
for part of my aesthetic.
What site did you say that was?
Backloggery. BACKLOGGERY. And it's just backloggery.com/liar exaggerate, like the character from EarthBound. That's where I'm currently making an inventory of all the games that I own. It's not done yet, so don't use it as fact right now. I've only done 3 systems accurately. But anyways, but yeah, for the banner I did I'm going to show you the anatomy of a shoot 'em up game, aka shoot 'em up, shmup, or just STG, which is the first line from the Beaker tutorial. So yes, 70s robot anime Geppy-X is a horizontal shoot 'em up shmup or STG, with an entire fake anime built around it. So that's the big draw of this game, is that you are playing the game, but the game plays out a little bit like a 70s style anime TV show. It has these really awesome 70s-tastic theme songs, including vocals. The characters are just really over the top. One of them has a hairstyle where it looks like some of his hair is coming down into just these big mutton chop sideburns. It's so anime of that time. Of course, there's big robots that combine to form even bigger robot, and the way the gameplay kind of goes is that you can switch between the three configurations of that robot. One which is balanced, the other which is speedy, and the other one which is powerful but short range. And that's how you kind of go through the game. And everything from the intro, it plays the intro every time you get to a new stage, because every stage is an episode. It also runs ending credits every time you beat a stage, and it does even fake commercials featuring real footage of things that they're trying to sell. There's action figures, there's shampoo. The shampoo commercial is particularly funny. And then there's a whole animated intro sequence to the next stage. And so given that this is I would say maybe a little on the long side, but it's it's within the average length of a shmup. So it's about an hour to an hour and a half of gameplay, but the game itself in its original PlayStation release was on 4 discs. So
shit.
Yeah, for context, for you younger folks, Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy IX were on 4 discs. Final Fantasy VII was only on 3. There's so much video and audio of high quality on the original game that they had to make it a 4-disc game that's only about an hour and a half long. 2 hours with the movies. So that's why I say it's it had to have been expensive to produce and publish back in the day, and that has to be why they never released it in the U.S. Because it's as Japanese as some things they've released over here. So, but it's a smaller publisher, I think. So. They would have never had a chance. Therefore, it was always one of those imports that you'd only hear about because you'd go to try and buy it and it'd either not be there, it'd be hundreds of dollars, which it still is. And so this game coming out in English is just one of those big surprises. Wow, they actually did this. I was never expecting this to come out. So yeah, like I said, it's gameplay wise, it's a 2D shmup. It's definitely, I'm going to say, on the kind of accessible side. If you're not a pro shmupper, it's not a cave shooter or anything too difficult. For one thing, you have a life bar that goes down as you get hit. You don't just get murdered immediately. You have a number of lives, and so it's not one life and you die. You can set the difficulty to be pretty easy, where the enemies... But the enemies are sending a sufficient amount of bullets out there for you. And like you said, you can crank up the difficulty if you find that it's too easy. But yeah, definitely the thing to be enjoyed here is the wraparound anime content. But I really liked it. But I actually really like how it plays too. It also has a feature that, like I said, you can switch between your ships and do different gameplay styles. You got your balance guy, which it's one of those kind of games, a little bit I'm gonna just drop some names here, I guess, but it's one of those where you shoot by tapping the button, but if you hold down the button, you do a charge shot. But then there's other dedicated buttons that in this version, I don't know about the original version because I have not played it. I didn't drop $300 for a import only shmup that, you know, couldn't even play. But there's like separate buttons, and you can assign the buttons however do you want. But you can either shoot rapidly or you can do the charge shot. So that's really nice. And, you know, your balanced character has a nice sword for like a good short range, powerful motion, but also like a good beam. Of course, has the character shouting, you know, every time that you use one of your special moves, because it is that kind of thing. And then your speed character has like more of a straight laser, a little bit like something you'd see in Gradius. And your other character has like a short punch. It's actually a punch with like a little wave. I guess the only thing I can think of is the Rush Pack from Mega Man 6. But anyways, and that, you know, that'll definitely drain out like a boss's health and stuff, but, you know, you definitely are in a lot more danger if you're using that. So I actually kind of stick to the balance bot for now, just because I'm a beginner at this game. But, you know, that's just fine to do. You don't have to switch the characters if you don't want to. Another feature I like, and this is something that you see in certain R-type games as well as Darius, is that you can hit a button to turn your ship around and shoot things behind you, which you'll need to do because bosses may end up, you know, on the other side of the screen, and you don't have to wait for them. You can just turn your ship around and keep firing. Keep firing, assholes. And yeah,
I'm
it's just like
surrounded by assholes.
Yes. But yeah, it's like, it's pretty cool. It doesn't have a whole lot of features outside of that. Like I said, it's very straightforward as a shoot 'em up. What you're really going for in this one is the aesthetics and the story of the, you know, anime, and of course to laugh along with it too. And it is great because like all of the anime is translated into subtitles. The commercials are, you know, even the songs do have subtitles in them, which I do enjoy because sometimes they don't. But they're really proud of this one.
They did a full restoration of 8,000 hand-drawn frames from the original Betacam master tapes.
Yes, that's a labor of love for sure. Like, they did not have to do that. Plus, you even have an option to restore the kind of grainier look from the original PlayStation in the FMVs if you want to. And by the way, I was, you know, I always pull up Wikipedia when I'm looking at these things, especially when it's a remake of a game or a remaster. And Wikipedia says, in total, there are 8,000 video clips used in the game. And I'm like, no, there's 8,000 frames. Why would there be 8,000 video clips? Yeah, Wikipedia.
That's a lot of video clips.
Yeah, someone was really on
4 discs.
Someone was really on one there. I mean, 8,000 would be like 200 discs.
4 Blu-rays.
I would love to see like a big CD changer's worth of like 200 discs for a PlayStation 1 shmup. Then people would be talking about 70s robot anime Geppy-X. But yeah, it's really cool the way they did the remaster and like really went through and like cleaned it up. You know, they cleaned up the audio. They did everything they possibly could. Also, there is a little bit of, I wouldn't say like a lot of cheats or anything, but you do get save states. You do get a rewind feature. And of course, the game itself also had a save. You could save between episodes. It's one of the very few shmups I've ever come across that actually had a save feature within the game. So I actually really like that. And yeah, of course, I have a save state in every level so I can go back through and watch the stuff again, because that's something about the PlayStation era. Just like I always make saves right before cutscenes I'm going to want to watch again out of habit.
Nice.
I've seen Cloud ride his motorcycle down those stairs many times. But yeah,
I got curious with the 4 discs of what had the most discs for a game. And do you have a guess what game had the most discs?
I can't think of what game, but I think there was one that had 8 discs.
Yes, the Japanese version of Phantasmagoria for the Sega Saturn had 8 discs.
Yes.
PC version had 7.
Phantasmagoria, that fantastic FMV point and click that everybody remembers.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I think among point and clicks, it's pretty legendary. I haven't played through it all myself, but I definitely watched a lot of it because that's kind of how I like to do point and clicks. I just watch them.
Yeah. All right. Well, Geppy-X clocks in at $40. What do you think of it?
Well, okay, here's where I'm at a little bit of an impasse because, okay, yes, it is $40 to download, and I think right now they might still have the 10% off. Whatever. It definitely went on my wish list. For people who don't know, I did request to actually review this one, which means that, I automatically have a pro bias when it comes to that because I know how to pick them. Yeah, it's currently, not by the time this episode goes out, it's actually 1 day left right now to have $4 off. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's $39.99 on the Switch eShop. This is Steam, of course, that I'm playing. I wanted this originally for Switch. They sent it on Steam, which is, not Steam, I'm sorry, on Microsoft Store or whatever, a Microsoft code, which is fine. I totally... played it that way, but I, wanted it on the Switch. So I went looking and I found out that if you go to a Japanese store like playasia.com or something, you can actually get the physical version of this game for $29.99. Oh. So, yeah, and they have a now very sold out special edition that had a drama CD with it, which I'm like, I really would have liked to hear that, even though I don't speak Japanese. It would have been fun to listen to. The voice acting is really good in the game.
It's amazing. Drama CDs are fucking amazing. I have some for a few of the games that I own on Steam. They're so good.
Yeah, but that's completely sold out, so don't go looking. Well, I mean, you can go to eBay and try and get one, but anyway. So I actually did buy. I'm calling this a buy it, and I did buy it on Switch. I actually have a physical copy that's coming to me because the physical version, although only sold in Japan, does contain the English version, nice. In the other regions as well. So it's a multi-region release. But at 39, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, because I respect and very much adore when projects that are so obscure like this are given this much love and attention, and there's nothing wrong with this entire game. Like I couldn't find a single thing that was like off about the entire experience. So and I tend to, even though I'm very positive, I tend to go through things with a fine-tooth comb like that, and I just could not find any reason to complain about this release. So I'm going to go ahead and say buy it, but understand that the digital deal, you can maybe do a little bit better if you're looking for a physical version right now. So I would recommend looking around and maybe seeing about importing it, but go buy it. All right, sounds good. Chris, that is it for you. We will let you get going so you could go back and play more Geppy-X. Hell yeah, and I'll see y'all soon because I have another game to review soonish. Indeed. Have yourself a good one. Do you have any final words? I don't know, man. Just pay attention to what you're buying and make sure you don't already own it. Because, I mean, it's kind of nice because you can collect a bunch of stuff to trade off for other stuff that you definitely don't own yet. But it's it's hard out there. Yeah, it makes you feel a lot less stupid when you don't already own it, right? Yeah, and go start a backloggery account, and if you do, you can friend me, and then we'll figure out what being friends even does, because I don't think it does anything. And this is why I have a notepad of all the 360 games I still need to pick up. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I probably should have done that, but oh well. I'll see y'all later. Have a good rest of your show. Laters. Bye-bye. Moving on. Next game is Fading Echo, developed by Emeteria, published by New Tales and Com2 US Holdings. Released July 21st on Steam for $19.99, coming later this year to Xbox and PlayStation. Fading Echo is a fast-paced elemental action adventure RPG where creativity fuels combat, manipulate water, trigger chain reactions, and shift through surreal worlds as one, a young legend on a mission to save a dying desert scape from the grip of the paradox corruption. Aki, what is Fading Echo?
Okay, so this is an action puzzle game, and in it you play as this young woman named One, and she and her mother are out about in this broken, fucked up land where, things are just floating in the sky, and if you fall off a ledge, you're going to fall a long way, and you might go a bit splitty-splat at the bottom. And there's monsters around and abound, and yeah, I don't know where you two are trying to travel, but some things get fucky-wucky as apparently reality breaks around you for reasons, and you're sucked into this other realm where you immediately turn into a tiny, cute little slime, and with it, you gain the ability to switch in between your normal form and the slime. And when you're the slime, you're not injured by the various types of water that exists, because some of the water is like basically liquid lava, some of it's poisoned, things like that. Instead, when you're a slime, you can absorb it by just going around inside it, and then as you move on the land, it actually creates a stream of the stuff from where you've moved, and each one of them gives you some other abilities that you can do. Like if you manage to be on fire and you touch water, suddenly you explode into the air and you're turned into a steam, which allows you to do one really tall, long, or high up floaty jump, where you hover slowly back down. Once you touch the ground, you turn back into your standard slime form, so on and so forth. That's how basically all the abilities work, is by doing that. Another good one is the poison. You can spread that along a distance, and then if you catch it on fire, you can actually turn yourself into a fire, which is different from the lava form even. It's really interesting how you have all these different forms that you can take. And yeah, you're basically, because you turned into this, you got real sick or something, and your mother brought you to this secret place, where there's a computer that is basically going to help you from that point forward. A spirit/computer. I don't know what you want to call the damn thing. And yeah, you end up switching between the different realms, and there's multiple of them. As you continue through the game, you get introduced to more of them, and you find these little portals that literally allow you to switch the world completely. Sometimes they're used for combat, sometimes they're used to help you actually get around in the level. Lots of times it's for puzzles. All the puzzles are like, oh, how do I give myself these different abilities so that I can get through this area? Like, oh, I need to make this high jump. Okay, how am I going to make it to where I can turn into smoke to get this jump that's really high and be able to travel far enough that I can actually reach this area? So I have to have been caught on fire, or else I won't be able to reach. Stuff like that. It's really, really interesting. And yeah, you're basically just helping this computer by getting rid of all this corrupt garbage, to help heal the land and fix this computer so it can also help heal the land. And yeah, it's a pretty sizable game. This is a pretty long game, and it is really good. Yeah.
Sounds like you are enjoying this one quite a bit.
Yes, and it's going to take me a while to finish it. I have not even come close to finishing it. Yeah, it is really good. and it's long.
I am guessing you will be excited for this one when it comes to Xbox later this year.
Oh, hell yeah. So excited. Yes, very.
All right. Well, this one clocks in at $20. Give us your verdict.
I am 100% for this. This is easily worth that money. I'm so profoundly for this. Go enjoy it. It is a really cute, fun game, and the characters are mighty fun. So go enjoy yourselves.
Very good. Next up, some game called Deluge, developed and published by Riggy 2K3, released June 25th on Steam for $9.99. Deluge is a horror-centric JRPG where you play as the resurrected warrior Hudson, a corpse tasked with infiltrating a battered community. Bound to a tyrant's will, yet haunted by your own past, you must make choices and battle your path forward to either redemption or ruin. Pernell and Aki, both you obviously covered this one. Pernell, start us off. What's going on in Deluge? Obviously, people can go back and listen to the first half of the show for a general wrap-up, but just I guess, quick recap. What is Deluge, and then your thoughts?
In Deluge, you play as a resurrected skeleton being by the name of Hudson, who has been brought back to unlife or undead life by the Eagle Gangram, who's a demon lord who wants you to invade the town of Figaro and massacre all who live there. And at that point, you are given a choice as to whether or not you would like to engage in that mission or not, because somehow, some way, you managed to retain some semblance of free will despite being under this demon/necromancer's control. At this point, you are kind of given free roam of the town with a few, restrictions that get resolved as you progress. And as you do so, you will wander around acquiring items and chests that can be used to heal your heal HP or AP, which I'll talk about shortly. You may also come across objects that can let you, progress through certain areas, get occasional weaponry, though there's no real equipment system so much as like you'll get access to a sword and shield, which will then be your armaments throughout the game. On occasion, you will come across opponents that will engage you in combat. And when this occurs, you'll engage with a general 1v1 system, though from time to time you might get accosted by some summoned creatures or, supporters of bosses. In this moment, you get tasked with the battle system. Battle system gives you HP and AP. AP is used to do almost all of your commands, whether you're striking with a sword or by using spells, whether they be found through exploration or gained from a level up.
And this might help you to know AP stands for action points.
Actually, that would help people. I love how sometimes you just become kind of used to the systems that exist in RPGs and whatnot. But yes, action points. So similar to magic points, but in this case for actions, different skills require a different number of AP to engage with. You have a base amount of 50 that you start with, and every skill will reduce it. How do you get more? Well, if you do the defend attack in this game, essentially it will allow you to not only reduce the damage that comes to you, but you'll also gain 20 AP back. There's also a healing on that will let you restore it too. But they come in limited supply, so be mindful of how much you decide to spend.
Technically, there's 2 items that will do it. 2 healing items.
Oh, we're talking about the freaking full cure. Come on, let's let Aki talk a bit. Aki, what do you think? Tell us about the game, Aki.
Okay. So, yeah, you have some, if you choose, moral choices that you could make, either to take up for this monster that has resurrected you because you don't know who you are, and as you play through the game, you actually learn who you are. Or you can choose some moralistic options instead of just answering the call of what you were summoned to do. And everything in this game that lives can stop living, and everything in this game that doesn't live can also stop living harder. So there's that to know. Combat is pretty hard at first. As you level up, you can gain some new abilities, and you can find, as stated, some items in the world that add new spells and the like to you permanently from that point forward as well. All of which are used for specific types of enemies and make beating them a breeze. So it is very hard to start out, but once you get to the max level and you have all the abilities, it's not that hard most of the time until you get to the last boss, if you're me. And yeah, you do need to basically go everywhere in the game so you can get access to everything you need. And yeah, that's really it that I think that you hadn't quite covered all of. So,
I mean, I think we kind of covered a lot of the basics and the fact that we all enjoyed the hell out of this game.
Well, I will give some pros and cons now that we're actually in the review portion of it. This is both a pro or a con, depending on who you are and what you're looking for in an RPG. And that is that this game is not particularly long. It is designed with the intent being that you can get multiple playthroughs out of it, see all that it has to offer. But if you're looking for some sort of 20, 30-hour epic or more, look elsewhere. You ain't getting that here. This game can be done wrapped up in about 5 hours, 6 hours if you're really looking around. In the addition to that, one thing that might be weird is that, or more like a pro tip, is that the max level in this game is 5. So what that means is if you're the type that wants to go around grinding such, knock yourself out, but I do feel like by doing that, you will ultimately leave yourself on the back half of the game, not really needing to fight enemies, so you'll just be running from them anyway. So in some respects, it's worth engaging the experience and exploring without just running in circles fighting skeletons in town, because you're going to kind of reduce the quality of the back half of the game by doing that, in my personal opinion. Music is good. I enjoy that. I think the writing is very pleasant. In a rare case of an RPG, I actually remembered all the characters' names in this game, so I appreciate that. It means I enjoyed what I was reading and engaged with. Overall, I feel like the game was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of any glitches I came across. I can't think of any glitches I hit. And also, one thing I should mention also, or neither of us mentioned, is that the game does have some like slight time cues in it, which came up during the interview. So it's hard to express exactly when they occur, but just know the game is designed so that at points after specific events occur, so not a real-time clock, the game will advance, so to speak, as far as like the night will progress. And that may lead to other events having advanced. So just be mindful of that when you make choices on who you talk to, as far as like events you engage with and things of that nature. But for the most part, there's not much you can really miss so long as you're careful. And if you do miss it, like I did early in the game,
on the next playthrough.
Do it on the next playthrough. So I'll stop rambling because, again, I can't think of any negatives. Everything I pretty much liked everything I encountered in this game.
The only negative I had was that I hope they get controller support working right, and he said he's already working on it. So that's
my only issue was the last boss, which was a bit, but that's because I apparently fucked something up. So
yeah,
I still am very confused here.
Yeah. The only other thing is I wish he would make it a little more clear that you got to use candles to save.
I can see that being the case, because eventually, I think I went online. I went to the Steam Deck forums, and I also asked a question there that I could totally erase now if I go back and do it. But I was like, wait a minute. I thought I saved the lantern, then I lit a fireplace, and nothing happened. So I didn't do what you did, but I did go and say, maybe someone's already asked how to save the game. And that's what happened. Someone said, it's candles specifically, not fireplaces. So that was when I was okay. Time to go back and save my game.
All right. Well, let's talk price on this one. It is $10. Give us your verdicts.
I personally think this is a valid buy it purchase. I had a good time with it. I was genuinely interested in seeing the game through to the end, which, to be fair, is not always the case when I boot up a game for the first time. So it wasn't just about supporting an indie developer. I honestly enjoyed the experience I was given. So I think this is a valid buy it.
I also think it's a buy it. I had a lot of fun with it, obviously, because I 100%ed this like a psychopath. I did this a while ago. I did this back when we first got it. I 100%ed it because I didn't realize it was going to be this far away. So yeah, I'm totally down for it. It's pretty good.
Very good. All right, next up, Wreck Runners, developed and published by Disruptive Games, that released July 16th, Series X and S, PS5, and PC for $9.99. Physics-based co-op extraction game for crews of 2 to 4 players. Venture into the twisted Bermuda Triangle aboard the Orca, a hybrid utility craft that can fly, drive, and dive. Gather loot, buy new equipment, and unlock cosmetics across chaotic runs. Aki, what is Wreck Runners?
Okay, so this is definitely going to be a big streamer game, I think. In this, you play as some people, and you have quotas for amount of scrap that you have to find, and you end up playing these the same level, typically, just different areas, and you're traveling on this gigantic 4-wheeler boat submarine thing, and you're collecting scrap from lots of boat wrecks or plane wrecks, things like that. And you have to hit a certain quota, and as the game continues playing, there's not necessarily a time limit, but the game gets harder and harder as you continue playing it. So more and more enemies will spawn, harder enemies will spawn more and more often, so on and so forth, making the game really, really difficult. All you're doing is basically you're using the gravity gun, more or less. It's their version of it, and picking up stuff and throwing it into your machine or into your vehicle in order to get it out of the level when you exit the level. You do have to put enough stuff in to have hit your quota for you to actually be able to leave. Otherwise, you fail. So each one gets progressively harder. First, it starts with $10,000 worth of scrap you have to find, and eventually, second level, if you pass that one, it's 20. Then I think it goes up to 40. I can't remember because I only managed to get up to level 3 because it's not easy. You can play with up to 4 people total. Me and a friend of mine played it solo. Or not solo, in a duo, because as we found, playing it with randoms just didn't work to save our fucking lives.
Oh no.
Granted, while it's not that we couldn't get connected to people, we could. It was that other people they suck.
Yeah.
Other people just suck. It is what it is. Sometimes you find games and you play them and you're like, wow, playing this with other people just is not now, good.
Were you in a private chat with your friend, or were you in game chat where you could talk with the other players?
I was on Discord with my friend. However, it turns out, unless you turn things off, the other players can still hear your ass. So be careful with that, I guess, if you want to talk shit about the other people. And you're talking in Discord, but haven't...
Well, I mean, Discord has nothing to do with your Xbox.
So
you were just talking on Xbox. Unmuted.
No, I was talking on Discord. It's a Steam game. So...
Oh.
No. They could hear you. They could hear you just fine. Because the mic's still plugged into the computer. So yeah.
Make sure you turn your voice off.
Yeah. Because some people don't like being told how shit they are. So yeah. As you finish levels, any money that you make from it, as well as any that you go over that amount, because you can keep going just as long as you want. If you're like, oh, we can get 10,000 here, or we could just sit here and get like 80,000. If that's what you want to fucking do, then fucking do it. Just don't die, or else you start right back at square one, and ain't that a bitch. So yeah, you can sit in there for as long as you want, but all the money that you make for your quota, as well as any above it, you actually get to keep, which is abnormal for games like this. Usually they take the quota and you just get to keep whatever you've gone over. But this gives you both. And with that, you can buy upgrades for either the ship, which are randomized. You get an option of 3 different ones, and you can buy however many of them you can buy. And you can also buy weapons for your actual main character. So, for instance, I think there was a shotgun, which is what my friend kept buying because she likes shotguns. There was a rocket launcher and some sort of plasma rifle thingy. You can also buy more hull patches, which are for your ship, because it can take damage, and if it takes too much damage, it gets destroyed, and if it gets destroyed, then you did fucked up, and now you're starting back at 1. So yeah, you can also buy healing packs for yourself, grenades, things like that. The different vehicle upgrades you can get are like armor, or you can get different weapons that you can buy that are installed onto the ship. I don't find those super useful personally, just because one doesn't do a lot of damage and the other's just slow as shit. You can also get things like electric skin for the vehicle for some of the enemies that actually grab onto the ship to hopefully knock them off. Just small things like that. It's just a whole bunch of small stuff that is pretty important. The upgrades for the ship are kind of expensive, but you should kind of expect that considering it's a giant ship. It's not going to be like, oh, here's this giant, 40-ton vehicle, here's an upgrade for $20. No, it's all like 30,000 and stuff. And yeah, every time you go in, it drops you in a different location. I think it's all one map, just in different areas of it. It is a fucking huge map. And yeah, you get a whole bunch of different types of enemies. You got some standard people, like there's people in biosuits that will run at you and explode themselves. Ones that are big, gigantic dudes that'll just knock the shit out of you. Toads that'll spit poison at you and otherwise jump on you. And then you got like these, I won't quite call them like boss enemies, but they're just huge enemies that just show up occasionally, and they're like flying versions of the big guys that attack your ship specifically, and they'll shoot miniguns at it, or they'll occasionally they'll fire missiles that stab into your vehicle and then blow up after a little bit, and you have to use those to actually kill those enemies. You'll find like a giant octopus that'll clamp onto your ship, and you have to get it off by peeling off the various valves that are sticking around it. Giant birds that'll come down, swoop down, grab you, fly you real high up, and then drop you for massive damage that you can shoot. Yeah, that happened to me a couple times. Yeah. And stuff like that. It's just, there's a lot of stuff in it. It's pretty cool. There are some problems with the game, though. There's lots of stuff, like every time you start the game, you start as just whatever color outfit the game gives you. You don't get to customize it. You can customize what charm your weapons, I think, have, but you have to, I believe, find those charms around in the game world, and they're not like, oh, you can find this charm here every time. No, it's randomized, whether there's even a charm there. And the map is huge, so it might say the charm's in this level, but it's all the way over here somewhere you're not going to ever go because you're trying to get in and out of the level, which means you end up not getting a bunch of progress towards much of anything while you're playing, which kind of really sucks for the player, because you also have like there's different paint jobs that you can put on your vehicle, and you have to find those in the world, and you actually have to finish the level in order to keep them. If you die, you fucking lose it, and it sucks to be you. So yeah, there's problems like that. The game doesn't fully explain a lot of mechanics, which also kind of sucks ass. And it's just very hard. The more players you have, the more enemies show up, and the faster they show up, for instance. They did make the game a little easier because it was too difficult for a while. But it is still pretty damn hard, actually. You really need to get in and out very, very quickly and just keep going that route. Whereas, lots of players are going to want to be like, how can we get as much money as possible out of this? And that's just not going to happen, because it's going to take... You're just going to start getting swarmed like, oh, here's like 3 enemies. It's like, okay, I can deal with that. That's not too hard. And then you kill one of the enemies, and almost immediately another one spawns. And it just keeps happening because you've been in the level or in that specific area. I'm not sure. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's one or the other. I don't know. Too long. And it's just like, yeah, things are just going to spawn.
Yeah,
and they're not going to stop. Yeah. And the problem is you have to go into all these areas. You have to find stuff, and you have to hope it's worth money, because you can only carry so much weight, and everything you put in there weighs something. So you have to find stuff that's worth a lot and hopefully doesn't have any negative stats to it, because some of them have some mystery stats that you don't know what they are until you've picked them up. One of them we found was backseat driver. We put that on, we tried to put that on the vehicle, and it caused the vehicle to take the fuck off on its own. Which destroyed a lot of stuff that we had in the vehicle because it came out of the doors, because the door was open, obviously, because we were putting stuff in it, which really sucked. There was another one that we found that gave you a super jump. The problem is, you take fall damage, and you get super jump. You don't get super land. So I did not get hit with that. My friend did. She jumped with that and lost the item and went splat.
Very good. Sounds like this is an entertaining one. It clocks in at $10. What do you think?
I think this is a try it game. Whilst obviously, clearly, I had fun, but it does have drawbacks, and those drawbacks can be really fucking annoying. So I think it's definitely a try it at the very least. So yeah.
All right. One final game to discuss tonight. We're going to take a look at the Tactichord Glam strategy demo, developed and published by Ichigoichie. It's releasing when it's ready on Steam. 1990, end of an era. Glam metal is on the ropes, and one band is thrashing the local music scene. Fight for freedom from the mediocrity of your high school life, turning foes into fans while making lyrical choices during battle to create your own rock anthems. Turn-based tactics turned up to 11. Pernell, Aki, both of you check this out. Pernell, start us off. What did you think of the Tactichord demo?
Okay, so the Tactichord demo has a total of 6 levels engaged with it, and a couple, story big vignettes that take place in between some of them as well. And the way the game works is a tactical combat game that takes place as their description, not mine, the 1990s, where you play as a high school girl named by the name of Diane Ailsean, who, at the offset of the game, you realize doesn't really have a penchant for making friends. She's kind of ostracized from much of her school and deals with bullies. Basically what most of the people listening to this podcast, including myself as a purveyor, probably dealt with in high school times. However, she also happens to have a knack for playing the bass. And she does, in her own way, have dreams of, doing something with that talent. And fortunately for her, through a series of unfortunate events, she does have that fateful encounter where she makes some new friends, joins up with a cool metal band that's on the beginnings of becoming something still and great. And that is the narrative of our game, as the friendship that she's building with these people, her times and her trials and tribulations in high school, trying to make more friends, etc., etc. I don't have a ton of that information as far as how far this goes because this is a demo, and I don't know how far the rabbit hole goes. But what I do know is that the gameplay of this demo was actively pretty fun. Combat involved you as Diane and also her bandmate friends, always finding themselves in scenarios where they are the band member and those against them are the haters of said band members, and your job is to convert them into newfound fans. Every battlefield is a fairly reasonably sized combat space as a grid-based environment. And when I say reasonable, I mean like it doesn't take long to traverse. You will get in a very Persona-esque fashion as far as like the descriptors, like X number of turns before the cops arrive, which I got a chuckle at. At the first, it was like, okay, the cops are going to show up if we play too loud at this church for too long. Makes total sense. But then later, it was like, we're in this parking lot where we're allowed to be here, but if we don't wrap this up fast, the cops are going to show up. Like, the cops don't care. But I digress. That is your ticker for getting battles done. And what will happen is you will have 2 action points. Look, AP! Again! Per character, per round, with which to engage them. For example, you can use them to move around the map. If you move, there's a safe space of movement where if you use a movement point, it takes 1 space and you'll still have the ability to do an attack. Or you can move an additional distance for 2 movement points, but then you won't be able to use any AP to do any regular attacks. Second thing you can do, at least from the demo, is straight up attack enemies. So enemies can be attacked anywhere within 8 grids around you, and it does 1 point of air quotes resolve damage. Knock out all the resolve stats on an enemy, and they become a super fan. They go warp off the board and go to like these pretty interesting like fan pits off the side of the maps, and they start cheering you on. It's kind of a nice aesthetic. But
their clothing also changes, which is really funny.
Where did they find these clothes? In the portal dimension, of course. And then as the demo progresses, you also learn. Still. Well, in the portal dimension, I'm sure. But then they got to buy these clothes. I guess 90s money went farther, but whatever. So the other thing that the game will hit you with as you progress through the demo is that every character has their own special ability that is associated with them. So there are 2 meters in the game that you have to be mindful of. There's a heat meter and a cool meter. The cool meter is essentially your HP. And if the enemies do enough air quotes damage to you, that is represented by cool points. And if they do more damage to you than you can gain back by knocking characters out by way of recruiting them or converting them, you will lose the battle. The heat points, on the other hand, are the currency used to do the special abilities that you gain for your characters. So, for example, Diane, who probably has my favorite ability in the game, is called the base bounce. When she uses hers, it costs 3 heat in both of her resolve points. Or let me rephrase that. It costs 3 heat, and if you use 2 heat resolve your AP points, you'll get a larger radius for this versus a smaller one if you move first and then use it. And what this does, it works as basically a line of sight effect where if an enemy comes into your range, you will do damage to them. You can do it for up to 2 times. It's a pretty freaking powerful thing. There's also power slides, vocal swings, and a pretty awesome power spin that can be done. And again, all these require heat, so you might find yourself pivoting between using certain band members to attack, other band members to use their special abilities by triggering them with the accrued heat. 2 of the character specials, however, cannot be used on the same round because some battles are what's known as the vocals period, and others are of basically the solo period. The vocals period allows the vocalist to do their special ability, whilst the other allows the guitarist to do his special ability. So you need to be mindful of that on a level to make sure that you're engaging the right abilities at the right time. I've rambled a bit. Aki, what are your thoughts?
The game is surprisingly difficult, I found, because enemies can really just gang up on you and fuck your shit right up, especially in some of the later levels where you might have like, oh, it's the 4 of you versus like, here's like 20-ish people, and you have to convert them all in like 4 rounds. Oh, but they all
a lot
want
of
to kick the
those
shit out of
are
you.
together. They're the little dudes. They're like in a pack of 3.
Yeah, that's their whole gimmick.
If they get spread out, you get fucked real quick.
The thing I like about this game, and I even said it on a Steam review, which I never do, I mentioned that I love that this feels more like a puzzle game than a tactics game.
Yep. Yes. And I'm glad you said it before I ended up saying it, because I agree with you. Like, that difficulty thing that Aki mentioned is true, but that's largely because, in my personal opinion, I feel like it's designed to be a puzzle first and tactics second, so that it punishes you quickly if you make what is considered to be kind of a bad choice. What do I mean by a bad choice? Yeah, let's go with suboptimal. That sounds a lot nicer. But like, so it'll be like, okay, here are these kids. Their whole gimmick is that they will crowd gang up on you and just maul your cool points like that. So you don't want to leave yourself in a position where it happens a lot, which is also another benefit to the game. We'll see how it goes for the final release, which is that levels seem to be short enough. So each stage is like multiple small battles, but each battle is short enough that if you make a mistake and restart, you don't feel like you wasted, 20 minutes of your life like it happens like Final Fantasy Tactics or whatever. It can be a quick, okay, I'm going to try this differently because this isn't the way I want it. And that sort of happened to me a lot.
Literally just the start of that battle that you get put back to, so.
Yep, and I may not have noticed it, but from what I could tell, your score remains the same. If you got a score from the previous round, that stays the same.
Oh, nice.
So the idea becomes, okay, this like Aki said, you might have a level where you got and a whole bunch of screaming kids. The screaming kids have one resolve point, which is basically 1 HP. I'm referring to it as HP henceforth. They have 1 HP, and so a decent AoE attack will take them all out. But you have to put yourself in a position where you can get them all while they also can't get you and just maul you up. There's some nice puzzling there as far as like getting that together. I hope there's a mechanic that opens up later on where you can pass AP to another player or another bandmate. That would be freaking awesome, though it might make some band members feel overpowered, but I think it would make for interesting elements of the puzzly nature of the game to give your AP to another bandmate. But I do appreciate the writing here. I think it's pretty funny. I like that it does kind of give me like 90s charm vibes to it. They're not trying to write a serious piece dealing with teen anguish and drama. This is clearly meant to be, so you like those 90s TV shows and you remember the era fondly? Well, here's a bunch of guys talking about the difference between CDs and records. Hey, I'm cool with that. And it's tongue-in-cheek. It's not the massy talking about the technical virtues. So calm down. I like the graphics in the game. The one thing I do wish and hope happens maybe in the final game when it gets to that point is, so there are 3 primary types of enemies that you deal with. There are the lights, which are the aforementioned kids, the mediums, which are like teenagers or like adults, young adults, and then the heavies are like pretty much bulky dudes who have the most HP. They all seem like they could have a little bit more character to them in the grand scheme of, even if it's not specific people, it could just be like, I don't know, a couple variations of like adult, like just basic adults or basic kids or basic big dudes. Think like a beat 'em up game, for example, where if you were playing Streets of Rage 2, there are the big guys and there's like 3 different types of the big guy. They all have basic personality. And was like, oh yeah, it's Big Bubba versus Big Jimmy, that kind of weird thing. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that in the final release. Like, there's that one battle in the demo where you're dealing with the 3 preppy girls, and I thought they were going to be fighting them along with the janitors they sick on you, but it ends up being 3 generics and the janitors. Like, oh, come on. I thought I was going to fight, get to beat up the bullies. That'd have been great. Let's just rock their faces off.
I mean, this is just a demo, man. You got to wait for the final game for that.
Oh, of course, but that's why you say it. What if I said this and he's like, we were going to go with some, general generic guys, but maybe we will give a couple custom, skins for them to give them a bit more variety. This is the time to say it when he can actually make changes to the game or updates if he wants to. But that was like the only real thing I had, the only thing that I thought about, because the music was, one thing we didn't mention is this is a characteristic aspect of the game, mind you, is that during the battles, after different turns, you will get a situation where the game will ask 2 lyrics or 1 of 2 guitar styles, and it's essentially like a rudimentary way of creating of the song that plays at the end of the level. It's like a music video that kind of depicts the way the battle played out. I noticed a thing in the corner that references bounce 3, 2, 1. I tried to press it. I assume it made the character on the screen at the time jump in the air like a rock jump, but I don't know.
No, the bounce
but I still
thing that's a holdover from Hexagroove, I think. You just hit the space bar while it's bouncing, and you can tap along to it. There's nothing.
It's like a metronome of sorts.
Yeah, if anything, there might be an achievement for it, because I think there was one for it in Hexagroove, but I don't think there's any meaning behind it.
Okay. All right. I'm glad I got that answer. So I was like, I'm going to try to time it and see if I can watch what happens in the video, but I was like, nothing's happening, or is it? I don't know.
No, that's just to tap along with the music, basically.
Yes, but I do like this game. I like where it's going. There's not a ton more I can really say, given that it's a demo, but I can, like I said, genuinely say I like the puzzly aspect of the tactical combat. In fact, I think that's part of what will make it stand out a bit. I like the narrative that's playing out. It actually kind of hits a little bit with me because, high school did, in fact, suck. But I also somehow still have fond memories of it because the era itself, that's just how it works when you get old. So I appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing where this game goes. And of course, being a game that wraps around music, it's good to know that the music in the game is good as well. Because if it sucked, there'd be a lot of drawing board to go back to. Thankfully, that is not the case.
I can say, though, that might be a point of contention with this game, because I'll say from personal experience, I'm not a hair metal guy. Like the hair metal vocals, they just don't do it for me. But there's nothing you could do about that. That's just how the game is. It's just a personal preference on my end. I'm not into hair metal.
Now, with that said, though, how do you feel about the music in the battles, as in not when the battle wraps up and you get your replay performance?
I think all the music in the game is great. It's just I'm not a fan of hair metal vocals. So that's the only real drawback on my end is that, and that's just personal preference. So what can you do? Follow, wish list, ignore, need some info. What do you think we should do with this one?
Well, wish list. I mean, that's what I did, so you should too.
Aki, your thoughts?
I think this is a pretty good wish list for most people. I didn't jive with it as much as you two clearly did, but I see that this is a pretty good game, and I think a lot of people would probably be okay with this game, so I think it's a wish list.
Well, I will say, full disclosure, I am apparently a super fan. So
yeah,
I am not complaining. I mean, that's just got to disclose that, but that does not change my rating in any way.
I mentioned the same thing. Like, we've interviewed David on the show before. That has no bearing on our thoughts on the game. I mean, if I were to just relate the game with no reason, I would say I liked hair metal, but I don't. So.
And funny enough, in a small world situation, I was looking at those credits. Another friend of mine is actually in the credits too. So nice. I made sure to message him and go, "Hey, we're in the same game credits. That'll likely never happen again." So,
yeah, me and Pernell listed as super fans. So that's pretty.
That's right.
Thanks to David for that. Obviously, when the full game comes out, we'll take a look at it, and I'm sure David will be on in the meantime, eventually, to chat about the game and development, because he seems to come on every couple of months, and we love having him on.
Here to that. The man knew Guitar Man. He was all about it.
Oh man, we need to. Now that Guitar Man is on PS5, we need a new one. That is it for this episode. We are going to wrap things up. Music for this show. I'm going to play something from Bound Together, because we talked about Bound Together, and that's what I do when I mention EarthBound stuff. I just play my own shit.
Sounds like a plan.
You can't stop me. Can't stop me.
I don't want to.
I mean, someone could kneecap you, but I just don't think it's worth it.
Big thanks to the two Chris's for coming on, to Chris Riggs for chatting with us about Deluge, and Chris Taylor for doing his thing with the reviews. Thanks to you two for being here the whole time. Does anyone have any final words to end the show?
Keep on rocking in the free world. Yes, I'm going with that. Keep on rocking in the free world. That's not glam, but I feel like a rockhead right now, so take it.
Freedom costs $1.05.
It does.
Fuck.